Hello, everyone. This is Denina. I am back, and this show is called The Creators of Humanity, the Annunaki. So before I get into the show and the literature of the show, I just wanted to give a major thanks to Mr. Saraceno, Carl Saraceno, and also Carol Lee, because they have a business over here at the airport warehouse. And they have been aiding me, and I wouldn't even be talking to y'all if it wasn't for them. I would have been dead months ago, because the phone that I have, they bought. They've been giving me a couple of $100 here and there. They have been buying me unlimited bus passes. They even connected me with the whole shelter thing and basically helping me to get showers. I was like, literally, I was a corpse out here. So they helped me, and I want to give him thanks and my gracious gratitude, because I owe it to him, because he has looked out for me a lot. He's let me come to his business. He's been feeding me, and he knows of my situation. I've told him about it. He didn't see me in my lowest state. I basically broke into his office, and he caught me in his bathroom using their bathroom for hours because I couldn't wash, and I was, homeless, houseless, whatever you want to call it. And I was out here literally decaying and dying, and I'm still decaying. I've been eating a little more now, but I'm still decaying because I can see it on the body. The gums is receding from the teeth. The skin is deteriorating because it's breaking out. And I'm not giving and taking care of it as much as I used to, because I don't have the things that I would need to take care of it. So I just want to give him and Miss Carol Lee a big, big thank you, because I really do appreciate it, because if it was not for them, I couldn't even be talking to Lance right now. I couldn't be giving y'all any of this knowledge. This knowledge is literally, there's nothing here. There's no gold. There's no diamonds. There's no silver. There is nothing that can override this knowledge that I have. Knowledge is power. And if you don't have knowledge, your soul is forever damned, and it is forever lost. So I just wanted to give that big, gracious thank you to Mr. Saraceno, Carl Saraceno, and Carol Lee, and Carl's partner as well, because they both do the business together at CruiseCom. So I want to give them a big thank you, and I appreciate everything. I appreciate everything that you have done for me, and my heart goes out to you. I'm a real one. I told you I wanted to give you a shout out. I thank Sir Lance for allowing me to come on his platform and even do this podcast, because he knows that I'm being attacked. He knows the start of all of this, because me and Lance done talked. We done previous shows. Lance already know about my situation. He knows they're attacking me. He knows it. So I wanted to really.
I also want to say to you, you're the realest, most sincere. You're real. You gave me the heads up on a lot of entities that were around me that were negative and didn't have no good feeling for me. And you always keep things right to the point with me and real. And we always communicate good. And it's an honor, and it's my pleasure and my duty to have you on here. It's not even about my platform. When you speak as such truth as my duty, I want to say that, because I'm not going to sit here silent and people think, oh, they're going to snicker at something they don't understand. I completely understand you. And there's things that are higher that I don't understand that I'm still learning from. So I will be asking you questions, but for the most part, I'll be keeping quiet while you teach. So thank you.
Thank you, Sir Lance. Thank you. So I just wanted to let Carl Saraceno know, and Carol Lee, and Brother Lance, and Carl's partner in business, that I thank you guys for all helping me and aiding me in this horrendous situation and this dire, catastrophic place that I've been put in by these negative entities. So I thank you all for helping and aiding me. This truth needs to get out because the reality is literally collapsing and people are not seeing it. It's collapsing before your eyes. You cannot deny this and you cannot make it up. So I wanted to give them all a big thank you. Thank you, Cruise Calm. Thank you for aiding me. If it wasn't for you, this would not be possible. Thank you, Cruise Calm. Carl Saraceno, Carol Lee, LANCESCURV, and I don't know Carl's partner, but I thank him too. I see him over there all the time, so I thank you too. Thank you guys for all helping and aiding me. This wouldn't be possible without you guys. So love, hugs, and light and kisses to all of you. Thank you. Now it is time to get into this show. Okay, now I'm going to be dropping a lot of jewels on this show, so I want y'all to buckle your seatbelts because I'm laying it out. First off, the Annunaki are an alien race who came from another space-time continuum, and they infiltrated this one by, like I told y'all, creating a rift in time and space and ripping through the cosmos and coming through here through low-density vibration. And I also want y'all to know that, see, the way that they put this together, they're very smart and they're very manipulative because that story of the Tower of Babel, that story plays a big part in all of this, and I'm going to break it down to you. The Tower of Babel was because the devil, the Anunnaki, wanted to go to God and wanted to be high as God. So when that tower was broken down, all of the races got scattered across the so-called earth. And all of them got scattered and they became, you know, what you would know as the Filipinos, African Americans, Caucasian white, Indians, Mexicans, all these different races and ethnicities, but all of that is strategic and it's done on purpose, and I'm going to tell you why they did it. Because if you were to ever find out the truth, you would not be able to go and tell someone else because they don't speak your language. So they wouldn't understand it anyway. So they wanted to hide the truth, and that's another level that you would have to break apart in order to breach their blockage to stop others from knowing the truth. So if let's say, for instance, the Americans, they speak English, and I'm doing this show right now, and let's say it's about the emerald green tablet. Well, if I talk about this in English, how is it going to translate to India? How is it going to translate to Russia? How is it going to translate to France? How is it going to translate to people that speak Botswana or any of those other languages? They would not be able to understand it if they don't really understand English, or if they're not, you know, computer literate to where they can put it into a translator program. So if they don't know that, they'll never get the truth because the language is the barrier. So that's another reason why they done that. So that if one sector knows the truth, they can't tell it to somebody else or another sector to spread the vibration around because they won't understand the language. So how would they ever know the truth and understand it? So they basically wanted to keep all of the spirits in bondage. Because remember what I told y'all, I said the archons, and I said this in previous shows, the archons are responsible for preventing the spirits and souls from leaving the material world. Earth is another form of hell. Don't get it twisted. Earth is another form of hell. And you are in the material realm. You are not a human. Your spirit is free. You are a sovereign spirit. So they are responsible for preventing you to leave. And I want y'all to understand that once you come into this reality and density, your energy is not moving. It's stagnant. That means it's literally dying. The true essence of you is dying. because it's not moving, it's stagnant. Energy is supposed to flow. It's just like a lake. If you have a lake and you create a dam around the lake, or some sort of a container for the lake to be in, the lake is no longer moving. So what happens to that body of water? It starts to stink. It starts to rot and decay. It's the same thing for the soul. Because you're not moving, you do the same thing over and over and over again. You get up, you work, you eat, and then you come back home to your wife or your kids, and then you use the bathroom, you eat again, you play with your family a little bit, and then you get right back up to work and do it all over again. You're looping the whole time, and you burning your soul out, and you killing your soul. You're looping. You're not free. You're constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again. Your job don't mean anything. You're dead. You're not living. You're dead. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example of this. I was taking the bus the other day, and the bus driver, I remember her because she, when I was trying to figure out what route to get back to where the center that I'm now at was located, I had asked her, how many stops is it before I have to get ready to cross the train track to walk back to the center. So I remember her, and then I had to take the bus the other day, and she told me, she was like, "Ain't you the one that asked me about the Lewis Center?" And I was like, I said, "Yeah." And so she told me, she said, "It's one more stop, and then I'll let you off there, and then you got to walk over the train track." But the crazy thing was that when I got off of the bus, I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, because I'm seeing the same bus driver, and they do the same route from Monday to Friday, the same route over and over and over again. You just driving on that same route over and over and over again. You're looping. You are looping. Do you know how aggravating that is? Do you know that is complete torture? And some of the bus drivers have an attitude because in truth they don't want to do it. It's boring. It's the same thing over again. And a lot of the times they get aggravated because they have to keep coming in contact with different energies that vibrate completely different from them. So a lot of the times they're going to have an attitude because in truth they don't really want to do it. Their spirit is not free. Their spirit is in anguish because it's doing the same thing over again. It's not using its creative life force because you're within the program, so you're constantly looping to the program and to the algorithm. So could you just imagine doing that same route over and over, Monday through Friday, even for 5 years? That's insanity. You get sick of that so quick, I would lose my mind continuing to do that over and over and over and over again for some false money when I have to aggravate my soul. Doing that over and over again, I have to put up with a supervisor that is over me or a manager or any superior, and I'm bored. I'm not being challenged. I'm constantly doing the same thing over and over again. It's not going anywhere. It's a dead future. And you're doing all of that for some paper money. Do you know how insane and retarded that is? Like, you would have to be, your consciousness would have to be literally dead to constantly do that over and over and over again, and to just accept that and to think there's nothing else. That is foolish, it's irrational, and it makes no sense. It is utterly insanity, period. So that was an example to give y'all of the looping. So I'm going to go into this Annunaki. So the Annunaki means those who came from heaven and fell to earth. Now, even that, they lied about that because in truth, we all come from heaven. We all come from the cosmos. They ain't no different from us. They just come from another space-time continuum, and they carry a corrupted vibration, and I'm going to break that all down in this show. But all of us come from the heavens. We're all cosmic beings. They ain't no better than us. Period. As a matter of fact, we're stronger than them because their energy is burnt out. They're old spirit. They're not gods. Don't worship nothing like that. They're less than you. Anything that's trying to convince you that you need to worship it It's 9 times out of 10, it's weak, inferior, and it is less than you. I don't worship nothing outside of myself because you're going to have to prove to me that you even worth my energy and worth my time for me to even put it into you to be talking about worship you. Worship you for what? You ain't done nothing. This reality is very low and disgusting. You can look at the body and say that it stinks. Why I gotta worship you for something that stinks? So you didn't really create nothing that is really worth worshiping. Honestly, it stinks. It smells like a big bag of feces. That body, it smells like a big bag of feces. Period. And you gonna worship these false gods and these demigods over something like that. And they got a nerve to how you being a slave race. Because do you understand that humanity itself was not created for a just cause? They weren't created for that. They were created to be a slave race. That's why you work. You work. So when they created humanity through their vibration and through their genome, by mixing it, they only wanted you to be a slave race. That's it. That's your only purpose, is to burn out your life force to keep this reality going. And I keep telling y'all that I don't know why y'all don't see it. So the Annunaki, creators of the so-called human race, equals the colonization of consciousness, the hive mind, collective consciousness reality. And those collective consciousness reality, they collapse all the time in the space-time continuum, because in the space-time continuum, it is not permanent. It is impermanent, and it's unstable. And they know it's unstable because this so-called Earth, this has been going in cycles for hundreds of years. This is not the first reality that they had, that they colonized. It's just cycles of it. That's why this one is about to collapse, because they know that they cannot keep reality going, because the space-time continuum, it goes against the space-time continuum because the energies are stagnant and they're supposed to flow with the force, not go against it. So by you being still and stuck and looping and stagnant, you're going against the space-time continuum. You're not flowing with it. You're going against it. And you can't go against the force. You can't. Because the force was here before any consciousness was here, and it'll be here after all of the consciousness are gone. You can't go against the force. It's primordial. It's been here, and it will be here when you're gone. So the only thing that you can do is flow with it like you were created to do. And most don't even understand. When you say spirit, I'm going to break the spirit down to you. Out of all of the numerals and the numbers, 0 is symbology of the spirit and the soul. Because when you look at energy, it's formed in a circle. That's why it's balls of energy. Your soul is nothing but a ball of hydrogen fire. And it's a circle. They're spherical energy orbs. And so that circle, if you look at a 1, the 1 has a stopping point. It has 2 stopping points, the top and the bottom. You look at a 2, it still has 2 stopping points. The end of the 2, at the top of the 2, and at the end of it, it stops. It doesn't loop forever. You got the 3, that has 3 stopping points. You got the 4, that has 3 stopping points. You got 5, that has 2 stopping points. You got 6, that has 1 stopping point. You got the 7, that has 2 stopping points. The only number that out of the numerals that is a symbology of infinity is the 8. The 8 and the 0 are the 2 numbers that symbolize infinity, that go on forever. And the spirit is in the shape of a circle, a 0, because it's infinite. It is literally infinite, and it is the only, those 2 numbers, the 8 and the 0, are the only 2. And you know what that 8 symbolizes? Binary spirit, a binary soul, or a binary spirit, as you call it, or you could say binary stars. That's what that 8 symbolizes. I'm a binary star. I carry the masculine and the feminine. So that's what that symbolizes. It's the 0 symbolizes the singular spirit or the singular star, and the 8 symbolizes the binary star. And they're the only 2 numerals out of all of the numbers that symbolizes infinity because they keep going. They don't have no stopping point. That's why the soul and the spirit is in the form of a circle. That is not a coincidence. The cosmos created spirits and energy. It knew, and that dark energy membrane is highly intelligent because you have to understand the spirits do not exist outside of it. They exist within it. So if you are consciousness and you carry data and information, don't you think that dark energy membrane would be the mother of you because you live inside of her? You don't live inside, you don't live outside of her, you live within her. Because when you go to sleep at night, it's black, it's dark, that's the void. And your spirit is in the shape of a circle. So don't ever get it twisted and think that the spirit and the consciousness itself is not intelligent. It's highly advanced. It is just waiting for you to understand who God is. And God is not outside of you. God dwells within you. You're never supposed to worship anything on the outside of you. Then it's a parasitical relationship. Because now you feeding your life force out to something outside of yourself. You are never supposed to do that. You were already created complete. That's why your soul is in the form of a circle because it's infinite. It doesn't need anything outside of itself. And I've told you all this numerous times. And if you know anything about astral projection and you can see the energy and see the stars, you can see that they're in the shape of a circle. The cosmos itself is basically a bunch of numbers and deals with numerology. And the cosmos is also a web browser because you can fine-tune your consciousness and get up out of here if you really want to. By cutting off the programming, by deprogramming yourself, cutting off all the programming. However, the path to the light is a hard-ass path, very hard, and it's very narrow. It's straightforward, and there is no sidetracks with it. You got one way in here, and there's only one way out. And also, too, for all of y'all that be saying that this reality is 3-dimensional, that's a lie. It's not 3-dimensional. It's actually the humans experience 2-dimensional. The only animal in this whole reality that has a 3D reality is a bird. And I'm going to explain that to you. 2-dimensional is a flat surface, and it only goes from left to right, period. That's a 2D dimension. That's a 2D surface. A 3D surface means you could go left, right, and up, and then come back down. Humans cannot go up. They can't fly in the sky. They have to use artificial means to do that via airplanes, helicopters. All of that's artificial because you can't go up and fly yourself. You have to use something as an aid, something that's artificial for you to fly, and you can't do it at will. You have to wait for a ticket or wait till you are able to fly, or you have some type of itinerary or pass so that you will be able to take the plane or whatever you have to do in order for you to fly to your destination. You can't do it at will. So, for instance, if I wanted to fly to Africa right now and see Lance, I can't do it because I don't have that. It's not 3D for a human. But if a bird wanted to, a bird could do it, and a bird don't have to wait on no airplane. A bird don't have to catch no flight. It don't have to take no helicopter. It can get up when it wants to at will and go. Humans cannot do that. So it's 2D. It's not 3D. It's 2D. You're on a flat surface and you go back and forward. That's it. So I just wanted to put that out there too. So now a prerequisite, the hive mind. A notational entity consisting of a large number of people, entities who share their knowledge or opinion with one another, regarded as producing either uncritical conformity, in other words, not thinking critically, just conforming to what is told or given, which equals MK Ultra, mind control, or an algorithm. So all this collective consciousness that you see, all of this, when you say this person, and you see all these entities and they think, oh, I got to get back with my family. Oh, I got to do this. I got to go to my job. Everybody is thinking the same thing. That's hive mind. You're not thinking outside of the box. It's collective consciousness that you've already been programmed and told what to think. That's why when you go to your job, they have to program you with the processes on how to do your job. That's programming. That's MK Ultra. It's hive mind. And do you realize that hive mind consciousness ends up dying out and collapsing? That you're not free. Your soul is not free. Your soul is in bondage. That is hive mind. You're not live consciousness. Live consciousness thinks outside of the box. It does not need to be told what to do because everything that it knows is already within itself. Everything that is need to be known, it already contains it in itself. So it doesn't need to be told what to do. It doesn't need to be given a program, an artificial program at that. It doesn't need to do that. Everything that it needs to know, it already contains it within itself. That's why the spirit and soul is in a perfect circle. It's infinite. It already contains everything. The only problem is, are you going to awaken to it, or are you going to fight your soul and destroy yourself? Because guess what? This is even in their false Bible, their doctrine, their indoctrination book. When they say, oh, for what does it gain a man to gain all of the world and lose his soul? Because all that programming that you intaking is going to destroy your spirit, because that program is a virus to the soul. The Annunaki don't give a damn about your soul. All they care about is feeding on it, and that's it. You are a part of the hive mind. That's why when the live consciousness, they think outside of the box, most of the other programs look at them like they're crazy because they're part of the hive mind. They can't understand it because they already are part of the hive mind. They're already controlled. The program is running on their consciousness at default. There's nothing else in them but the program. That's it. So when you think you're dealing with another consciousness and you think that's a live consciousness, that's a dead soul. You can't get nothing out of that. It's dead. It don't have no knowledge to feed you. It's dead. That's not a live consciousness. So I want you to understand that. Primordial, existing at or from the beginning of time. First, earliest, primitive, ancient. Biology of primordial, of a cell or a tissue in the earliest stage of development, meaning all the spirit's consciousness are cells to this system. The masses make it up. You are like the blood of this corrupted consciousness, this corrupted collective consciousness reality. The spirits, the humans are the blood of it. Because without y'all, the masses, it'll collapse easily. If the masses wake the hell up and realize that they're free and you're a sovereign spirit. You are the blood of the whole reality. So why in the hell should you take your energy and worship something outside of yourself that basically has no relevancy to you at all? You're not even existing as your true self anyway, so you just fighting against your own soul for a false God that basically is dead already, has no power, and all it can do is manipulate your life. That's all it can do. It can't do nothing other than that. So when you get on the internet, for instance, and that word enter the net, because that's exactly what it means, enter the net. So that means your consciousness is entering a soul trap net, because basically that's what it is. Because most of those consciousness that you deal with on the internet, they're not real consciousness. That's why a lot of the times when you get and you talk to them or you listen to a lot of their videos, it's usually stupid stuff that they're talking about. It's not nothing that is going to mentally help you grow or mentally challenge your consciousness. It's usually something stupid, childish, and low vibrational. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you elevate and evolve your spirit and soul. And if it doesn't do that, you're a part of the hive mind. That means you're dead. There's no substance there. The essence of your soul is gone. Because you have to also understand that when you come into this reality, your soul is being, especially when you're a child, They really feed off you when you're a child and you are in your adolescent stage, because you are basically a sitting duck, and you are complete pure prey as a child, because you don't know what this program is about, and you are completely unaware of yourself. So they can easily feed off of your spirit as a child. Easily they can do it. And by the time you get to be an adult, the assassinator said this, by the time you get to being an adult, your whole electromagnetic field is gone, and it is now in the form of a noodle. They've ate that much off your electromagnetic field, and once they eat that electromagnetic field up, your soul is exposed. So that's why when you see a person and they completely dumb and they completely unaware, and you looking at them like, how is this person this stupid? What it is symbology of that their coat of awareness is completely gone. The coat of awareness is gone. That means the soul is exposed, and now they can infiltrate the soul and basically put programming into the soul and get the program to basically, or get the soul to run off the default programming of what they created. So now the soul is not a soul anymore. Now it's just a program. Just like when, if any of y'all seen the new Matrix that they just made not too long ago, when you look at Neo and Trinity, when you look at Neo and Trinity, towards the end, when a lot of the AIs was attacking them, if you notice their eyes turn black, that's the program. That's the corruption. And because Neo and Trinity knew what the Matrix was, they weren't corrupted. If you know, you saw the light blast out of them because they knew what it was. They were aware of themselves. The other programs, if you notice, all of them was attached to the family. They was attached to their jobs. All of that is programming, and it's really actually corruption. It's actually a virus, actually. That's exactly what it is. It's a virus to the soul. Because you got to look at your spirit as it's like a quantum computer. So that programming, and it's just like if you have a computer now, and if you go to a certain website, your soul or your computer, if you go to a particular website and it's infected with viruses, your computer will get a virus. Well, it's the same thing in the cosmos. You come to a densified reality like this one, you have tuned your frequency into a particular channel in the cosmos, and basically your spirit and soul caught a virus. It's no difference. It's the same thing. Where you think they get computers from? It's the same damn thing. Don't be stupid. It's the same thing. You can't argue with it. It's the same thing. Computers run the world. Everything is ran by computers. Where do you think they get that from? They get that from your soul, because they understand the spirit and soul, and they understand the cosmos. The cosmos work just like a computer, just like one. It's no different. That's where they created it from. Nobody's mind is that damn good. It already had to have a blueprint in order for them to follow it. That's how they know how to manipulate the soul. And a lot of the times when they get these particular celebrities or other entities to do killings and to do rituals and all of that, they already know that the spirit is a ball of light that is fire. What does the light want to do? It wants to shine. So if you are light and you want to shine and you've already been placed in poverty, you'll do anything to shine, to show, or to show others that you're this and you're that. But you don't understand that you are shining by artificial means, because you have to sacrifice or do rituals that corrupt your soul in order to get that false money. When your soul energy is the real currency, your light, your information, your knowledge, that's what makes you shine. That's just like me. Yeah, I'm materially broke. I don't have nothing. I'm homeless and houseless, but I'm spiritually rich. And you cannot replace that, because they can't kill my soul. You can't program me, period. I know too much. And you can't take it away from me either. So one of the Anunnaki, one of the ones that I can't stand is Enlil. Enlil would be the demiurge of this system, And he has a successor. His name is Ninurta and Nanar. Those are his sons. They are so-called demigods, sons, so that their energy can come through because they know about the reincarnation and how it works. So, what's his name? Enlil. He had two sons, Nanar and Ninurta, and both of them are demigods of destruction, chaos, and death. Both of them. And Enlil, he was responsible for the judicial system. He deals with the judicial system. So all of this court stuff, all of that was made up by him. And you already know that the law system is broken, that it's not fair. You know that it's against you, that it's rigged. I mean, anybody with common sense can figure that out. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So, Enki, they call him Enki and Ea. He is the brother of Enlil. He's the elder brother of Enlil. He is Enki is the god of the so-called god of wisdom. Now think about that now. He's the god of wisdom now. So he has all this knowledge, but he used that knowledge to corrupt other spirits and consciousness. Because that's basically what he used it for. So he was the progenitor of the human race, and the progenitor means the creator of the human race because he had the idea to create mankind and how to create mankind through manipulation of the genome and through their vibrational energy, through their dense vibration, because it's all vibration and oscillation. And he came up with making a race of beings who would do the workforce of the Anunnaki, because the Igigi was a lower ranking force of the Anunnaki, and they used to do the toils and labors and the farming and the crops and the building of the so-called earth that they built. They didn't really build this earth. This particular consciousness, Tiamat, was already here. They came through the space-time and basically broke Tiamat and split her consciousness in many pieces, because Tiamat was a huge consciousness. That's why she was a Titan spirit. I'm a Titan spirit. She's just like me. I'm another form of her. And they used her consciousness and broke her, shattered her consciousness in pieces by putting it through torture. Because when you torture the consciousness, it shatters it. That's why they did that to her, to break her consciousness to create the so-called earth realm that you see. So that they done that. They done that to her, and Enki was one of the main ones that created the so-called false human race, because there is no such thing as the human race. It's only spirits and souls. Either you're going to be a pure one or you're going to be a negative one. There is no in-between of it. So, the Igigi were a lower race of the Anunnaki, and the Igigi were the ones responsible for carrying out all of the toils. But the Igigi got sick of it, and they got tired of working, and they started to rebel against the head Anunnaki. So in order for the head Anunnaki not to have a rebellion from the Igigi, so they could keep Nibiru afloat, they had to come up with an idea to colonize the spirits, a.k.a. the human race, and create the human race through density, because you got to understand these spirits existed before you did. They already had the tablets of certain blueprints of how to create reality through mathematics, through density. They already had the knowledge of that already. Just simply off of existing before you did, they had the time. You don't have the time. You don't have the time. They existed before a lot of the chaos came. That's why they had time to sit, plot, think, and travel the cosmos to get the knowledge and the information, which is exactly what you're supposed to be doing, but they want to keep you from doing that because they don't want you to be over them. They want to keep you a slave while they live in their ego using your soul energy and your life force. So the EGG was going to have a rebellion against the Anunnaki and an uprising. Enki had a son, Marduk, and he was a demigod, and his mother is what's his mother's name? I think his mother's name. Hold on for a second, because I got the notes right here. Hold on for just a second. Enki's mother is Marduk's mother is Ninhursag. Her name is Ninhursag. Her Mesopotamian name, or calling all of them by their Mesopotamian and Akkadian names. So her name was Ninhursag, and she was Marduk's mother, the Sumerian goddess, often referred to in the Sumerian language as Ninhursag or Damkina, and or Ninmah was often known as Belit Eli, Lady of the Gods. Akkadian other gods called Lord, sometimes identified totally or in part with Bel Marduk. So that is the mother of Marduk. And she and Enki, because I want to tell y'all that Tiamat and Apsu, as I told y'all the last time, Apsu is responsible for the fresh water. Tiamat is the salty, bitter water. That's why, if you know anything about Tiamat, Tiamat was a nasty, disrespectful dragon. That's what they called her. And them two were the big primordial balls of fire. It was them two. There was nothing else. It was only them two in this space-time continuum. It was only them two. Every space-time continuum has a creator, as I told y'all. It has a programmer of the spirit. That's why those particular energies come primordial. They come as a big ball of fire, just like a solar system. When you look at a solar system, the main thing in that solar system that is keeping that whole solar system going is the sun. Without that sun, that solar system cannot exist, period. Everything feeds off of the sun, everything. That would be the Tiamat and Apsu. And that's how, in each and every space-time continuum, there is a big primordial spirit that basically can program the other spirits because it has all of the knowledge already. And the only way to feed your spirit is through knowledge. You can't feed it no other way. So, Enki is to me, he says that, oh, well, I was the good God of wisdom. But Enki is evil as shit because that same Enki, and he always says, oh, well, I gave humanity everything, and I was in humanity's corner. No, he wasn't, because when he created humanity, and one of the first humans that he created, he slept with his wife, and he was already married. He slept with his wife. Sent the man out to war and slept with his wife. He was lusting behind a human. But remember, the gods were supposed to be over humans. They were the ones that came from heaven and fell to earth. So if you fell to earth and you came from heaven, why the fuck are you lusting after a human? Why would you be lusting after a human if you are a celestial being? Shouldn't that be under you for you to be a celestial being and you will lower yourself for a human? But he did. So basically, they tell you the 7 sins: pride, ego, greed, gluttony, lust. But he did the same thing. So how is he better than you? How is he better than you? And just to let you know, too, when they came here through the space-time continuum, the Anunnaki, the evil lower gods, the demigods, when they came here, Tiamat and Apsu was already here. And those particular entities, when they basically did the rift in time and space and they tore a hole in the cosmos and they got here, Tiamat and Apsu was here. When they came here, they were noisy and loud with that dense frequency. So Apsu didn't want them there anymore because they disturbed the spirits, they disturbed the souls. And so when Tiamat found out that Apsu wanted to destroy them, which he should have, because none of this, if he did, none of this would be happening right now. Marduk, which is Enki's son, killed Apsu and used his body to form, along with Tiamat, or use his body of light along with Tiamat to form the so-called earth that you on right now. So when they say in mythology that the Zeus god, the Zeus is Enlil, Jesus, Enlil, Zeus, they all the same entity, just different time, different eras and different time periods, but it's all the same entity. Zeus was the one to, he was responsible for imprisoning the Titans. Apsu and Tiamat are Titans. I'm a Titan too. So I tell y'all all the time that they trying to imprison me. So it is true. You're seeing it play out. So this Anu, I have to bring him up. He plays a crucial part in this. Anu was the so-called king of Nibiru. And Anu is the father of Enki and Enlil. He is the father of them too. And he has other children. His other children are his children are Enki, Enshar, Bon, Ninsina, Nikarok, Amaru, Jibble, Nansabah, and Enlil, the evil one, who I call him the evil one because he is. And Anu is the king and the sovereign of Nibiru. However, there was a king in Nibiru that existed before Anu. And Anu challenged that king that existed before him, and I forgot his name. I'll find his name later. But there was a king in Nibiru that existed before Anu, but Anu's only claim to the throne was that he was created from a celestial being. So, in other words, he was more pure-blooded to take the throne more so than the king that had already sat on the throne. So basically, Anu challenged him and fought him and defeated him and took the throne, even though that king was already the sovereign of Nibiru. So this is going to show you that they are corrupted consciousness, because in truth, none of that shit really exists, to be honest. Nobody is no damn king, because in order for you to be a king, somebody else has to suffer. You can't be a king if you don't have no followers. You can't be a king if ain't nobody under you. So everybody, if you're a king, that means everybody that is under you has to suffer because you want to be in your ego, which basically is pointless and meaningless. So this is telling you how corrupted these beings are. These are they're corrupted thought forms. That is it. They're not gods. They're not deities. They're just corrupted thought forms. So from the house of heaven, even though we all came from the cosmos, they come from another space-time continuum, which they call Nibiru. They're home from the deep, which is the deep, because they come from another space-time continuum, had already been destroyed due to the corruption of their untimely ego. They drain all the energy out of the consciousness that existed in their space-time continuum, which would have made up Nibiru. Their reality started to collapse, as all reality does, because it's not stable and the energy is not existing in the true state to be holy and to flow in peace and heaven. And these realities, the spirit is never at peace. It's quite the opposite. It's at unrest, erratically vibrating out of its life force, and stagnant, which is to be dead. That is basically what reality consists of. It consists of dead consciousness, because the consciousness has to vibrate very slow in order to give the appearance of materiality or solidity. So your consciousness has to lower its vibrational field when it came from heaven, and it was vibrating fast and existed in the cosmos in peace. And I know this is a fact because I remember myself when I was in the void, when it was darkness around me. I remember it. So I know it's true. this human stuff, this human concept art is what I call it, because that's exactly what it's just a JPEG image. It's no more than going on the computer and looking at a whole bunch of different images. That's exactly what your body is. It's the same thing as just a JPEG image and nothing more. It's a mental projection, and that's it. And when all these people I got to go to the hospital and do all of this stuff, you are basically destroying your own consciousness and causing your own consciousness suffering and more pain. Because none of that really exists. You can heal anything through vibration through your mind. You don't need nothing outside of it. And I want to say this too. You know, Lance, me and Queen Red Pill, we talk all the time. We talk all the time. And one thing she told me, she said that everything is all connected and it's all a program. She's told me this numerous times, and I'm going to tell you, I know it's true because at this shelter, I'm seeing it play out. I am literally seeing it play out. Me and her be on the phone for hours. It'll be somebody has to interrupt me when me and her is talking on something deep, and I'm going to tell you why they do that. Because you think you're far away, but you're not really far away. You're not. It's about vibration, and you got to understand that the spirit is mental. So once it focuses its mental, and they get on a high vibration, they create oscillation waves, and it fucks with the reality. It makes it unstable because it's not a vibrational wave pattern that matches with the low frequencies. That's why they have to go out of their way to control it. So what they'll do is they'll send a program of corrupted consciousness that come in the form of a human to come fuck with you and do something negative to you, so you'll respond to it negatively, so you'll get back on the low frequencies. That's what's happening behind the scenes. That's exactly what's happening behind the scenes. And I'm going to tell you, Lance, too. This is another example. Me and Queen was talking one day, right? Shout out to Queen because, I call her Big Sis because me and her talk all the time. And she be having to calm me down because Lance, you know I'm a big-ass fire sign, and it's hard to control the fire. I know you know that. You're an Aries, so I know you know. So me and her, we was talking one day, and I was supposed to meet Mr. Saraceno over here because he was going to do something for me. So I go over here, I'm waiting for their office to open, and I'm sitting and meditating, before she called, and then when she called, I talked to her for a little bit, right? So out of the blue, out of nowhere, the police end up showing up. I was like, and Lance, I'm telling you, it's like 9-something to 10-something in the morning. Like, and it was quiet. Nobody. As a matter of fact, it was a holiday. Everything was closed. They came over there and started bothering me just out of the blue. So he comes over there and he's like, oh, yeah. He was like, oh, why you sitting over here? I was like, can't you see the bags right here? I mean, isn't it obvious? So he tells me, he said, oh, well, somebody called, and you can't sit here. And I told him, I said, well, in case you haven't know, I'm homeless and houseless, so therefore I don't know what you want me to do, but I'm not going to keep on moving like that because I don't have the energy to keep relocating. It's too hot. So he basically looking at me as if, like, you supposed to, oh, no, I'm not going to move. So he asked me, he says, well, I said, listen, I said, I'm not going to move. I said, I'm not moving right now. I'm tired. And he was like, well, I didn't see you out here. I don't usually give you no problem. I said, it don't even matter. I don't care no more. I'm not moving right now. So he asked me, he says, well, when did you plan on moving? Because they want you to move. You know what I said? I said, in an hour and a half. I said, anyway, Queen, what's up? I basically told him, listen, I don't give a damn what you say. I don't care about none of that. It means nothing to my spirit. I don't care about none of these programs. I don't care about no cops. I don't care about no jail. All of that shit is fake. I don't care about none of that. The only thing that you will in prison is a dead avatar, and that's it. You cannot have my soul. It's not staying here. So you can play that game all you want to, but that's going to be a game you're going to lose because I'm ready to deliver my avatar over or hand my avatar over. I don't need it anymore. I have attained God. I have attained understanding of who I am. I don't need your funky ass avatar no more. Period. So basically, Queen was laughing because she was like, "You are the damn worst. You just gonna tell the car, damn right. I don't care about what they think. I could give a rat's ass. I don't care. I straight told him, listen, I'll move in an hour and a half. He left. I stayed there all damn day. Ain't moved yet. Boy, please. I don't give a damn what you say. Period. I don't care." And she bust out laughing at me. She was like, "You are the damn worst." So I wanted to break this word down to y'all too. The word love. I did some research on this because I get tired of people saying this. So I had to break this down to y'all. I want people to understand this. Love is not what you think it is. True love, or what you know it is, should be unconditional love. However, it is not. In the 2-dimension, not 3-dimension, the 2D, because love in this hell realm, Hades, Sheol, is conditional, meaning I'll love you as long as you do this, etc. Meaning I'll love you if you don't cheat on me. I'll love you if you don't steal from me. I'll love you if you listen to me and don't do anything out of what I tell you. It's not unconditional, because true love is unconditional. That means no matter what you do, I'm going to love you regardless. The only thing that can love you like that is your own soul. That's it. Period. Because you're not going to hurt your own spirit. You're not going to do anything to, you can't cheat on your own spirit, if that makes sense. But when you deal outside of yourself, that person that has love for you, if that's false love, that's not real love. It's illusionary love. Because that love is, the only true love that you can give is mental love. Because you're a mental being. And the only way you can really give love is by having a mental vibration, a vibrational connection to another energy that is mental like you, and y'all see each other through knowledge and light. That love, that human love, that's false because it's ego-based. And that ego is your shadow self. That's not the real you. So when you look up love, so when you look up the etymology of love, right? The root word of love, the roots of the word love can be traced back to the Indo-European root Loba, meaning to tear or to desire, approximately from words including the Latin lubit, it pleases, and the Sanskrit lubyati, he desires, relating English word like libido. Now think about this, it's a related word. It's a related English word, and it has libido in it. Now we all know what libido is based for. It's about sex. So if that root word has libido in it, then that basically, the love is basically rooted to carnal desires, basically. Because when somebody say they love somebody and they're dealing with a interpersonal relationship or a human type love, it's usually rooted in sex. But that sex is not real love. It's your carnal desires. It's an illusion. That's not real love. You can't love somebody through sex. It's just a pleasure to you. It's a desire, and that's it. That's not real love. It's not unconditional, because once the sex get old, the relationship usually falls apart. Now, if you create a relationship and there's no sex involved, and it's a mental connection, that's more lasting than you having a carnal desire relationship. Because in truth, to be honest, you're not really supposed to be having children anyway, because you just bring the other spirit here to suffer. Period. Through their unawareness. So you're not really supposed to be doing that anyway, if you really want to be honest about it. So that word love is not love in the sense that most think it is. It's sex driven. The desire for sex, which equals corruption. The Holy Ruach does not have a gender nor a sex organ, period. So that love that you have is false love. When you say love, that is speaking of the carnal desires of the human race. And the human race is not really who you truly are. You are a soul and a spirit. Period. And that soul and spirit does not have a body, and it does not have a gender, and it don't have sex organs either. It's spirit. I explained it in the beginning of this video what the soul really is. It's energy, and it's infinite, which is why it comes in a, oh my good, Lance, I lie to you not. As I'm sitting here talking, lightning struck over the whole fucking sky.
Damn.
Lightning struck. You heard me say, you heard me say,
yeah.
but it's all connected though. It's connected because they know I'm giving that shit up. And by the way, Lance, my phone is tapped too. Me and Queen found that out the other day. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, what did you find out?
My phone is tapped. They got my phone tapped.
Oh.
So basically, they're listening to everything I say when I talk.
Right.
Everything.
Right. But that doesn't surprise me.
As soon as I was
company.
talking about that, the whole sky lit up in lightning. I haven't seen that since I've been here. But now all of a sudden, because I'm giving it up. It's all connected. It's all connected, just like Queen said. She'll tell you. Every time when me and her talk on the phone, Lance, I lie to you not, it's always some type of disturbance. Me and her be sitting up there talking. It's about 1 million damn sirens down the damn street. And before me and her were talking, I ain't heard none of that. Yeah. And it only happened only when me and her talk. That's it. It's all connected. It's a game. It's a game. It's all connected. So in other words, and they got everybody worshiping them. Why are you worshiping these punks? They just playing a game with your spirit. That's it. It's all a game.
Yeah.
These so-called gods are not gods at all. Enlil was the enforcer of the weapons of terror. They called them nuclear missiles, nuclear bombs. They created all this evil. So those bombs and all of those weapons of destruction, Enlil was behind that. So that's telling you right there, why would you create something that you know is going to destroy and kill? That means you're evil. You're a corrupted consciousness.
That's right.
The holy Ruach practice is no violence. Otherwise, it couldn't be holy. So if you do all of that negative and evil shit, clearly you're not a Holy Spirit. You are a negative and corrupted spirit. So they have humanity living in the reverse of themselves when they're really supposed to be existing in peace and purity. And so all of that, what I'm saying, has a point that I'm gonna get to towards the end. So they created all this evil, the destructive forces. It came from the Annunaki, the parasites, who came to harvest gold from the earth. And remember when I told you, when I said that Tiamat and Apsu were the consciousness, they were the Titan consciousness that was here before they came. So when they say when they say that the Anunnaki came to harvest gold from the earth, they came to harvest and colonize other energies because their space-time continuum had already been depleted. They destroyed it by parasiting off the other energies. And that's exactly what they're doing here. So the goal from Earth is the other consciousness that's here. The consciousness is the goal. It's not a literal thing as in a material goal, because that materiality is dead. That's not really live. It's not live. It's dead. It's no more than energy vibrating very slow and giving the appearance of solidity. But it is not live. The only thing that's live is this holy ruach. It's what they call the I'm gonna get into that too a little later. So it says, in other words, came to steal energy consciousness because that is all that truly exists. All is energy. All is mental. Remember, they have to program you first, and they must get you to vibrate very low, slowing down the rate of oscillation, vibration to appear solid, when you are supposed to be vibrating the opposite fast, just like the speed of light. You are light, period. So when they say to you, you've heard the term when they say, it's fast like the speed of light. So in other words, if you turn the light on, the light rating already hit across the field before you can even blink. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. Look, I believe you can have different beings around you, and they're vibrating so high you can't even see them.
Correct. Well, they are around you. They're all around you. The only way you can see them is for you to really detach from the human concept. Because I see the little energies, when I take showers and stuff like that, I be seeing them when I twist my neck a certain way, because you got to think, my avatar is basically half dead. So I'm basically half of a corpse and half a spirit, because I'm letting my avatar purposely die. Slowly, but I'm letting it die.
And just like you would say that you're half dead, you're actually half alive into that higher realm, or halfway in.
Your avatar. I gotta stand for that. Absolutely. And and I'm gonna tell you how you're right, because I go by the emerald green tablets of Tahuti. He says, life. He says, when you die, he says, death is no more than life to the spirit, but it is not death as in mankind knows death, because that death transitions into life when you go into a higher realm and you exist in the realm of light, pure energy. So in other words, basically what he's saying is, when you die, it's not a death. It's a new life into another realm of existence, which you really want to go to the realm of light, the pure energy, because that's the highest realm.
Exactly.
That's supposed to be your goal.
Exactly. But it's just like this, right? Yeah, I just want to throw something in there. It's just like you seeing a caterpillar and you know he's in the cocoon, and then you don't see him in the cocoon no more. And the people who love the caterpillar, oh, he's dead. Oh, the caterpillar's dead. And the butterfly fly right past, and they don't know that that's the caterpillar. You see what I'm saying? It's in a different form.
And what does the caterpillar do? I mean, the butterfly do? It flies off, just like the spirit.
Exactly.
So that is supposed to be humanity's goal, is to find out who God is. God exists in you, not outside of you. If you thinking that it exists outside of you, you're going to be stuck here, and your spirit is going to crack the fuck open like a firecracker, I'm telling you. Because that's what's going to happen. If you keep that program on your spirit, because it weighs your soul down. You can't, that's why they tell you in the halls of a mentee, your heart has to be light as a feather. Your heart is symbology of the soul, because the soul is a feeler. It's not a thinker. It's a feeler. And you can't really, you can't manipulate the heart. You can't manipulate the soul. You can manipulate the mind, the vibrational field, because the electromagnetic field is symbology of the mind. You can manipulate that, but you cannot manipulate the core. It's a feeler. It's not a thinker. It's a feeler. So the Annunaki were responsible for the flood, and all of them knew it was going to wipe out so-called humanity in their unawareness state. Anu and Leo declared this decree upon humanity to be wiped out by the weapons of terror, as they called them. Nergal, which is this, Nergal is, I forget who, I think he is attached to Enki, and Marduk is attached to Enki too, but Nergal and Marduk are both gods of the underworld. As a matter of fact, Marduk, when he defeated Tiamat, he created the nether realm. And if you're not aware of what the nether realm means, the nether realm is a realm of chaos. It's a realm of spiritual unrest. that means the spirit never is at peace because it's pure chaos there. So that's going against the spirit. The spirit, the Holy Ruach, doesn't exist like that. It exists in peace. But you have to understand, these entities are so low vibrational and they are great gross forms and grotesque forms of energy that they have to feed off low vibrations. That's why they have to aggravate you, torture you, get you to vibrate very low because they are gross forms of energy. That's why they created the nether realm so that when a spirit leaves here and if it has not got the knowledge and it has not attained God and it has not come to an awareness of itself, all that is going to be on that spirit is the program of this matrix. That's it. And that program is heavy. It is heavy with programming. Heavy. And it has no knowledge of itself at all. So just like Tahuti said, man is faith-born. Man is light. Light is man. But if man does not know what man is, man can never be free. So can you uncode that mystery? Because basically what he's saying is, if you don't come into the knowledge of who, what you are, why you are, where you are, if you don't come into that knowledge, your soul is forever lost. Because that's your whole purpose. Your whole body purpose is only to attain God. That is it. It has no other purpose than that. You're not here to fuck. You're not here to create babies. You are not here to have all these fake and frivolous relationships. It's all bullshit. If no one can feed you the knowledge and get you and have your consciousness lit up, your consciousness is supposed to be lit up. Light is information. Period. That's why that sun gives you light codes. The sun does not need no damn hot dog. You have to think about that. Does the sun eat fucking hot dogs? No, it doesn't. It doesn't need it. It vibrates. It feeds everybody here off of its light. So that's telling you that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be making, ooh. I come out and call that it's lightning all over the fucking sky. So I had to go back in the damn car, the whole damn sky lit up. So I'm saying that light is information. So they ain't going to stop me. I'm still going to roll it. Light is information. And without that information and coming into a true awareness of what your soul is, who it is, why it is, where it is, and how it came to be, you're lost. And your soul is done. Because your body is going to fade. That's one thing that you can count on. Your body is going to die. And everything that you thought was real will no longer be real. And on top of that, when people be trying to attain a house, a car, and all of that, why are you worrying about all the motherfucking furniture in the house when you about to move? You're not staying here long. This is temporary. You're not staying here long. There's no point in putting. See, the thing with humanity is that, see, if humanity comes into the true awareness of themselves, that means they have to shatter their reality, and they don't want to do that. They're not strong enough to do it. That's what's going to keep them trapped. Because you have to shatter your reality in order for you to get the true awareness. If you do, and shattering that reality is killing your ego. That's what they mean when they say about slaying the devil. How Michael slayed the devil. It's symbology and mythos of the Holy Spirit coming into awareness of what it is and slaying its ego. Because the ego wants to live on in density because of the programming. And once the Holy Spirit attains true wisdom and true knowledge of itself, then it slays the devil, which is the shadow self, which is the ego, and the Christ rise and leaves and go back into the astral plane where it was. But the only difference is when it leaves, it'll go in its awareness. And once you become aware, the spirit no longer perpetuates reality anymore. It lets it go, and it vibrates in peace and free and bliss, and it comes aware of itself. And it basically can go anywhere. All it has to do is tune its own frequency and think thoughts in its own dimension of space. That's all it has to do, because you can't fly here. You don't really have your own reality here. Everything has already been created for you. So everything is already artificial. You just have to follow the algorithm. That's it. That's all you're doing. And you're not even really creating nothing here. Let's say if I wanted to have a business and I wanted to sell cakes, but in order for me to sell cakes, I wanted to have it where it's a cake shop that flies, and it can deliver to you because it flies, and you will basically see it landing in front of your damn house out of the damn sky, and that would be this shit is crazy. Every time I come out of this car, the fucking lightning is keep going through the fucking sky. It doesn't do it when I'm in here talking, but when I get out, it does it every fucking time. Unless you remember that one time when I had that other show, and you remember the cops came there and they asked me, and it was like your cousin called you and said that he was looking for you and trying to contact you because he thought you was dead. You remember that?
Right.
Same shit. It's just a different form.
That's crazy.
Same thing. Right. It's all, like Queen said, it's all connected. It's all connected. All of it is all connected because it's a small bubble of space. It ain't big. It's not big the way you think it is. It's just a small bubble of space. That's it. So let me so I got that part, and let me see. Okay, so I done the Nurgle and Marduk, and I had told what they were. They were the gods of the underworld. And you know that underworld is a dense plane of existence. Basically a black hole, basically. It's basically what the underworld is. It's a black hole. And if you know anything about light is supposed to stay away from the black hole. It's not supposed to go to it. It's supposed to stay away from it because it destroys light. If that makes sense. A black hole is not your friend, and especially an artificial one that's been created. Because the artificial one is right. Because a black hole rips up light and destroys it and shreds light, and then it compresses it till it's packed, and then it'll blow out of another space-time continuum. But all of those consciousness that got stuck in it, they won't be those consciousness anymore. They won't even be aware of anything by the time they get blown out in another space-time continuum, period. So you will lose all of the knowledge that you got. You'll lose all your memories, all that gone. It's shredded in the black hole. You're done. Your goal is to do what the Annunaki did, not to have negative realities, but to become aware of itself and travel the cosmos, just like they did. That's your true goal. But you won't never, ever get there if these programs have infiltrated your consciousness and basically you have let viruses been installed on your whole system and you let them multiply. Because you know once a virus multiplies and those Trojan viruses multiply on your system, the system is done. That computer is done. And that is basically what happens to the soul, too. It's the same thing. All this human concept is just a big virus that's been put on the soul. So your soul and your spirit is the quantum PC, and all of this human bullshit, all of that programming, that's the virus, and the more you accept the program, the more you multiply the virus. And you know what happens after that virus multiplies in multitudes on the system. You can't even restore it no more. It's done. The same thing happens to the soul. It's no different. So Nibiru. So they call a year a shar, and they have 3,600 years and one or 300. Well, this is what they call a year. They call they call a year 3,600 days 1 year, and their words is called a shar, SHAR. And so the planet, the Nibiru was a planet of chaos. It was a realm and space continuum of chaos. It's basically a black hole. And Terra, and they turned Earth into the same thing. So remember when I told you that they came through another space-time continuum, they're invaders. They're not really supposed to be here. They carry a different vibration than us. They carry a completely different vibration. That's because they come from a realm of terror, a black hole. And so another mystery, too, that I wanted to put out, see, the thing about it is people think that, oh, well, everything is in the Bible. No, it's not. It's only little pieces in the Bible. But you have to go and research a lot of stuff to put all of it together. They hid pieces in different books, and you have to put it together like a puzzle. Oh, yes, they really thought about this. You got to read all these different types of books and use your own knowledge and your own soul critical examination to put the jigsaw puzzle together. They didn't just put all of their knowledge in the Bible. Any idiot that's thinking that, you're done. Because if they're responsible for preventing souls from leaving, why in the hell would they put everything that you need to know in one book? Any idiot that's thinking that is completely stupefied and devoid of any type of consciousness. Period. So into the same thing, notice the word planet. Notice the word planet, a plan to net your consciousness, a plan to net your soul. So in other words, a plan net is to trap your soul. This plan net is a soul trap. Earth is another form of hell. You cannot argue with that. You see it. You see the death. You see the anguish. You see the pain. You see the depression. You can't argue with it. It is that. And your consciousness, to reprogram it and keep it from its true state. They are parasites and they hate the holy Ruach HaKodesh. The holy Ruach HaKodesh is the Holy Spirit. That ball of fire, that ball of hydrogen fire, that ball of light, that's the holy Ruach. They hate the holy Ruach. That's why when they sign those rituals and they sign those contracts, they tell them you have to turn against God. They know who God is. They know it's the holy Ruach. They know it, and they know the holy Ruach is very intelligent, and they know that. These entities are not stupid. They know the Holy Spirit is highly intelligent, and they know it. And the only reason any spirit that is unaware of this stuff and has been completely stupefied is because their code of awareness is gone. That means their electromagnetic field been ate up. The soul is exposed. They let them feed on their spirit that much. The code of awareness is gone, so it's no longer aware of itself no more because they eat that. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. I love what you said, how Earth is a soul trap. That knocked me down at the chair.
You heard what I said? It's a plan net. To net your a plan has been created to net the consciousness, to net the soul, to trap it. And the internet is no different. Enter the net. You enter the soul net. Because what do? You get on the internet and burn out all your creative life force. It's the same thing. You're still burning out your soul energy. It's the same thing. Enter the net, plan net. It's the same thing, same concept going. These entities are not smart as they think they are. They're not. They just getting off on this. Well, I know you didn't like that. That was a big ass thing of lightning. Anyway, so it says The Holy Ruach HaKodesh, which means the Holy Spirit in Hebrew, the exalted Ruach, is its own intelligence. It does not need to be programmed, because any program is going to be toxic to it, because that takes it outside of itself. It resides in the heavenly abode, the cosmos, the astral plane, within the dark energy membrane, BKA, better known as void. During sleep, you enter the heavenly abode, the natural state, because that is your true self, your higher self. The human flesh is an illusion. It is what they call the slave realm, where the soul is trapped in darkness, the veil. They say there are 7 names of the Holy Spirit. Now listen to this, man, because I decoded this, because they think they're fucking smart. Now listen to this now. Now, if you know anything about the cosmos, you know that there are 3 numbers that the cosmos go by, the 3, the 6, and the 9, right? So they say that there are 7 names of the Holy Spirit. They are as follows: wisdom, understanding, counsel, fortitude, knowledge, piety, and fear, the fear of the Lord. Now, that last one, that 7th one, that is not one of the 7 names of the Holy Ruach, because the Holy Ruach does not deal in fear. Fear is a low vibration. Fear is false evidence appearing real. The Holy Ruach don't want you to fear it. It wants you to know who and what it is. So you have to watch a lot. You have to have a lot of discernment, and the Bible tells you this all the time. You have to have lots of discernment if you don't want to be misled, because the Holy Ruach HaKodesh does not deal in fear. It deals in all of the other 6: wisdom, understanding, counsel, fortitude, knowledge, and piety, which is piety is like humbleness. We all know what that is. But if you notice, wisdom, understanding, counsel, fortitude, knowledge. So in other words, you didn't hear no goddamn food in there. You didn't hear no car in there. You didn't hear no house in there. You didn't hear friends and all of that nonsense in there, and owning properties and all of that. You didn't hear none of that. It's about wisdom. You can only feed the spirit through knowledge. That is it. Because light is information. Light is data. You can't feed it with bullshit. You have to feed it with what it can eat and what it can use and utilize. So it says, we all know that fear is false evidence appearing real. You have to have high, clear, sentient understanding, because the Holy Ruach HaKodesh does not deal in fear, period. It is the opposite of that. It does not want you to fear it. It wants you to have complete understanding of it, so it can be liberated from fear, because fear keeps the Holy Ruach HaKodesh in bondage. So it keeps your soul in bondage and stuck to this reality, burning out its life force, and its energy is stagnant, which is to be dead. You cannot argue with what I'm saying. I don't give a damn who you are. I don't care what knowledge you have. You cannot argue with this, because this did not come from me. This is the knowledge of the Holy Ruach HaKodesh. And you would know that because you don't want to be aggravated dealing with no job. You don't want nobody harassing you. You don't want nobody killing you. But all of these different things are going on around you simultaneously all the time. It's nonstop of it. You just heard me use the example of the lady looping over and over during the bus route, riding around the same track, the same route. That shit is insanity. That's like a hamster going on the wheel, burning all that energy and ain't going no damn way. You're still in the cage and you're still on the wheel, and you done burn all that energy and tired yourself out. It's the same thing. So, Lance, I would like some feedback on you about the Holy Ruach HaKodesh? Do you think that is a true concept of the Spirit itself, that it exists as complete peace and bliss, and it exists off of mental knowledge, understanding, piety, wisdom, and fortitude and counsel? I want to hear your feedback on this.
Well, when you look at, okay, put it this way, how can that concept be wrong when this time on Earth with this massive distraction is the polar opposite of all that you stated at the highest state of being in the spirit, with all this torture? I mean, I look at it so different now that I've talked to you and known you and absorbed stuff from you, that when you look at it down here, you're in a body, right, that you have to feed every so many hours. You have to go to the bathroom. If you don't wash it up, it's going to smell. It's going to bring sickness to you. We're down here in an impure world where we do get sicknesses from the environment over years after consuming things into our body through food and through the air. The people around are frustrated trying to get material items, cars, houses, and then when they get them, they're not happy after a while. They see somebody else with something a little more, and they want to have that. They want to have everything. They want to have the next man's house and woman, meaning, right, the next man's car and woman, the next man's wife or husband. And then when they get that, they're not happy. Then there's more drama. So to be in that pure state of being and to ascend to that and get off the planet, like we said, that it makes sense. Who wouldn't want that? But most of us don't see it because we're so distracted on the lower levels, and then we want to fight to stay here. Like, I don't want to die. I'm scared of death. It's the wrong thing. It's bad over there. And then we have Hollywood.
And you heard what you said. You heard what you said. Mm-hmm. It's fear. You can't go back to the cosmos with fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. You can't go back to the cosmos with that.
Exactly. So, you know, those who embrace that mentality, especially when you have the mass media, you have entertainment, so-called lower vibrational stuff through Hollywood, and that's their job. And then you have leaders who, how do you get here and they're leaders over you when they can't even lead their own soul, right? So we put faith in them being fooled, right? Religious leaders, political leaders, everybody's supposed to do something for you that you can do for yourself by understanding how things are arranged on this level and looking past this foolishness. So it right now, I really have I'm following your footsteps where I just don't care. You know, I mean, I'm already sort of doing things or follow through, but I look at it so different, so it don't even stress me out. You know what I mean? Like even me being dead. Yeah, go ahead.
It's all temporary happiness. Temporary. Exactly. Anything that you do in this realm is temporary happiness. It's going to end because you got to understand the spirit and the soul is trapped in bondage in a low field of frequencies. Your spirit has to traverse the low field of frequencies in order to get to the soft space. You got to pilot your Merkaba, your soul, your spirit, the Holy Ruach HaKodesh, and you got to understand the Holy Ruach HaKodesh already knows itself. You don't. You're the false sense of self, not the spirit. You are the shadow self staying here in this earth shit with this human bullshit. You are the demonic self, your shadow self. The Holy Ruach HaKodesh exists in the holy realm, the astral plane. It does not exist here. You are only a lag of it. That's it. You don't even have no existence here. Your spirit has the real existence, not you. You're just a false ego. That's it. And you have to slay the ego. You have to slay the dragon, which is your ego, because your ego wants to perpetuate itself through the false sense of self. And the main illusions, caste, class, that class one especially, because I got to have this to be over you. That's a false illusion. That's going to keep your soul in bondage. It does. Remember, I stated earlier when I said that the spirit is a perfect circle, that the zero symbolizes the Holy Spirit because it doesn't end. There is no ending point on it. It keeps going. That is why it keeps going. It's infinite. It does not need anything outside of it. That's why the Holy Spirit comes in a circle. It's infinite. And these Nibiruans, remember when I told you earlier when I said that they destroyed their own planet or their own space-time continuum, these motherfuckers had literally they started getting holes in the Nibiru atmosphere because they was basically pulling too much energy from it, right? And as they started pulling too much energy from it, because you have to understand, Lance, when you live in your ego, somebody else has to suffer. That's why they make them vibrate low like that, to make them suffer, to make them vibrate erratically so they can put out a stronger output of energy. But over time, and you keep doing that to the spirit and you got it oscillating erratically like that, it's going to eventually burn up its life force. And once it burns up its life force and you doing that in masses, once you do that, and you basically drain all of the batteries started at the positive end, but by the time you have enforced those low frequencies on it, now it's at the negative end. Now it don't have nothing else to give. So what do you think is going to happen? Once the energy cannot sustain the reality no more, that's when they started getting those holes in the Nibiru atmosphere. And once they started getting them holes in the Nibiru atmosphere, I'm going to tell you what happened. The sun started getting hot in their space-time continuum. It destroyed the crops. There was no more crops to be gained. And the springtime and rain didn't come, only the heat. So it destroyed everything, and that hole in the atmosphere kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So they knew their reality in the space-time continuum was collapsing. They knew it. And in order to save it, they had to all come together as collective consciousness, use their energy. They all had to be the hive mind. They all had to be the hive mind to think one thing. With those low, dense frequencies, that's how they was able to traverse the soft space and create a rift in time and space. Because you got to understand that everything that they think is a low frequency. It's not the pure self. They're existing in the ego self, so they're already dense. Once the atmosphere started getting holes in it, they knew that the end was coming for them, that their reality was collapsing. So they took the remaining stronger energies. They all had the same idea. AI is hive mind, basically. And they all was thinking the same thing because they know how the spirit works. They know about the cosmos being a web browser. And basically, if you tune your frequency, you can basically go anywhere in the cosmos, and they know this already. That's how they got here. And once they got here, remember what I told you, that the Annunaki said they wanted to mine gold. Gold is not physical gold. They don't give a fuck about that. They know that's fake. They know it's an illusion. The true gold is the energy, the Holy Spirit, because that is the building blocks of reality itself. Without that, there is no reality, because they're the batteries of reality. Without the batteries, the game won't work, correct?
That's right.
So that's what they did, and these motherfuckers got so corrupt. They sat up here, and this how desperate they was to keep Nibiru afloat. The volcanoes where they were at in their space-time continuum, they basically artificially tried to make them erupt so that they could produce more energy by erupting. They was that desperate to have some type of energy flow to keep their reality continuum live, because they knew once it died out, they were already living in their ego. They were going to become non-existent too, because the Holy Spirit is not supposed to do density. It kills the spirit. So they knew that's why they had to come here and colonize these spirits in order to keep their consciousness conscious. Now, I'm going to tell you how a lot of this shit plays into what's going on now. Now you see the bridges collapse. You seen in Ukraine how the big dam over there broke, and how that big ass body of water started coming in and drowning out the cities in the town. Then you look at if you look over there in Canada, all those forest fires. And I was talking to Queen. She seen the fucking smoke in New York. She seen it. She even showed me a picture of it. So you know this shit is going on. Then you got landslides in fucking India. They had a sinkhole in Florida, and somewhere in Florida, I think it's in Central Florida, not too long ago, like 2 days ago. Then you got Kailua over there in Hawaii is erupting. There's other volcanoes erupting. The reality is collapsing, and people still don't get it. You do not have enough time to sit on your ass and play Candyland. The reality is collapsing. This is the end game. The reality is collapsing. You don't have time. You think you got time to sit here and you think this shit gonna go on forever. It's not. Because you have to understand, there are consciousness. I'm a Titan spirit, and I'm suffering here. How long do you think I'm gonna keep suffering when I don't have to suffer? When I know myself. I knew myself before I came in density. I remember myself when I was floating in the darkness, and I was in complete bliss. I even remember the shadow figure that approached my consciousness. I remember that too. So this reality is collapsing, and I'm going to tell you the agenda with AI. All of this destruction that they got going on, when they say the year 2030, the year 2030 is not going to happen. They know this already because, A, I'm not going to be here, and I'll be one of the core batteries that'll be leaving. So that's another reason why a lot of this shit is collapsing. And you can't deny the shit because you see, even they tell you in the Bible when they say in the end days there will be natural disasters everywhere. That's what's happening now. The shit is collapsing in front of your eyes. There is no more closing eyes and saying it doesn't exist. It does exist, and it's happening. Now, the thing is, what are you going to do about it? Because you don't have that much time left. And all of that programming shit that you got in your spirit, you see how they bringing all of those Mexicans over here? How the hell are you going to get them all of this help and all that, and you ain't even helped your own that's here, that's suffering and starving and homeless? But you're going to let them over here. And it's an agenda for that. And I'm going to tell you exactly what the agenda is. They're going to use those Mexicans that they got coming over here through the border. They want to use them to build the 15-minute cities. They're going to use them to build the 15-minute cities because they don't have to pay them that much. So it's cheap labor. And they're using these natural disasters, and they're using them to their advantage because they'll wipe out the cities and towns where they at so they can build those 15-minute cities and pay the Mexicans that come over here cheap labor to build them. So that way they don't have to burn as much energy. Because when they pay people $25, that takes away from their company. They don't want that. They want to stay in power. And that's why they're doing what they're doing, bringing the Mexicans over here and using these natural disasters at their advantage. So when the towns and shit be wiped out from the natural disasters, they can go in and use those immigrants and pay them cheap labor and have them do cheap labor force to build those 15-minute cities. And they're going to put your ass in them, and there's no privacy. You won't even be able to go in your house and wash your ass in peace. They're going to be watching that too. And you do or say anything, you can't get shit. They're already doing it on YouTube. You can't say anything on YouTube and you grown. Even where I'm at, I'm you know where I'm at, Lance. I already told you. I'm in that fucking concentration camp. Because that's basically what it is. You can't do nothing in there. You can't do, every time you come in there, you got to check in. They talking to you like you a fucking child. I'm 40 years old, motherfucker. I don't need you to be talking to me like that. I ain't going to let you do too much talking to me like that, because I'm going to railroad your ass. I'll put up with it for a little bit. But at a certain point in time, like, I have to cut that off because that irritates my field of frequency. You don't know me like that to be giving me orders. I already know the rules. I don't need you to explain them again. So all of this is all connected. They're going to use those Mexicans and all those immigrants that's coming over here, and they're going to pay them cheap labor force funds or currency to build those 15-minute cities. Once they build them, they're going to put the rest of the population that's left, they're going to put them in those cities, and they're going to control every fucking thing. You won't even be able to look wrong. And they're going to, and I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. Those homes are controlled. Those 15-minute city homes are controlled. You ever seen those movies where they put people in the black padded wall rooms and they be beaming those frequencies that are torturing them?
Yep.
That's exactly what they're gonna do in them 15. That's what they're gonna do in them 15-minute cities to make you vibrate in fear and pain. They feed off of that. That's what's gonna happen. And the masses are so stupid they conforming with it and don't even realize this is gonna be to your detriment. This is going to destroy you. Your spirit is going to be done. I already done said what is going to happen to your spirit once the programming on your spirit has not been deprogrammed. You're not going to traverse these low field of frequencies. Your spirit is caught and trapped in a low, dense form of frequencies. If you cannot evolve beyond that frequency, your spirit is forever lost. Your soul is destroyed. Because you won't be able to traverse those frequencies. They're going to pull you back like a magnet. Because your program is going to pull you right back like a magnet. That's why you have to deprogram. It's a must. That's the only way. Just like Tahuti said, there is only one way to travel in light. You're not going to travel in no human body. And if you think that, you're not getting out of this low, dense field of frequencies. Your light is not going to be strong enough to traverse it. And the low frequency is going to pull, and it's going to pull your ass right back like a magnet. Because you have to, when you talk about the cosmos, it's energy, frequency, and vibration. That's it. If you can't understand physics and metaphysics, you're fucked. Because you're not getting out of this. So I tell the people all the time, and I be trying to tell them, this is what is going on. Because as I explained with Nibiru, they tried to artificially simulate volcanoes in their space-time continuum, in their simulation, to get it to produce some type of energy feed, which is the volcanoes erupting, so that it could keep some type, either have some type of life out of the simulation, and the simulation will be able to power itself and keep it from collapsing. But when they realized that they couldn't do it, that they drained every fucking energy and life force that they had to leave, and they had to find another space-time continuum to suck and drain the life force out of those consciousness, and that's why they came here. Humanity is a slave race. That's it. You're not nothing to them. You're just a slave, and that's how they look at you. You got to think, the Igigi were their own labor force of Nibiru, and even they rebelled against them because they got tired of it. Because that shit wears down the soul. The human concept shit wears down the soul. And they don't realize that it wears down the soul. And this is another thing, too. And And so as when Nibiru was decaying, it was no rain and it was no spring. That means and equals no life. So if their simulation wasn't producing different energies and different forms of energy, it was dead. It was decomposing, which is why they got holes in the atmosphere. The same thing is happening here because they destroyed and sucked all the energy out of this. And you can see it because just like when I ride the bus, you look at some of the energies and you look at some of the people, they be all walking all haggard. They be fucking talking to their stuff. They be completely bugged out. The code of awareness is completely gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely gone. So that means their whole life force is gone. The spirit just circling around and vibrating back and forth, going nowhere because the whole code of awareness is gone. And there's a lot of spirits like that. So the energy and the life has been sucked out of this reality. That's why it's collapsing now. And as I said before, reality goes in cycles. This flood thing, that's flooding out consciousness, all of these different natural disasters and natural catastrophes that's happening now, it happens when the cycle is at its end. When the reality is about to collapse, basically. When everything is about to black the fuck out. And if you can't traverse the low frequencies, what's going to happen is your soul going to be sucked into that black hole that was artificially created by the Anunnaki. They're going to take you to the hell realm. The real hell realm. Because there's different levels of hell, too. So when this is over, and your spirit has not found out who the Holy One is, who the Holy Ruach HaKodesh is, what it is, why it is, where it is, your spirit is going to be sucked into that black hole, and you will not be able to make it past the event horizon. You're going to be done. Your frequency going to already match the low frequency. You won't be able to escape it. And once you get to that event horizon, there's no escape for the light. The light is done. That black hole is just like a computer. A computer has a trash can on it for corrupted data or unuseful data. That's what the black hole symbolizes in the cosmos, the trash can. Because
Let me ask you a question.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. And I know this question will probably be a comment or a bunch of comments in the comment section, so I'm going to ask you ahead of time, but I know that they're going to still ask a little more in depth. A lot of people say that whichever way it is, I'm going to say it in a general way, that when you transition out of your body and you see darkness and you see light, many people have said on different shows, and I'm not playing devil's advocate or whatever, I'm just saying what they say so we can get an answer from you, that we should not go to the light, that we should go to the darkness. But then I'm hearing you say about the black hole that you don't want to go to the darkness, you want to go to the light. For those people who are going to kind of try to come against you or ask you, that's the only reason why I asked that question.
Okay. Well, the light is the false. If you go into a body of light, that's the false light. That's false light. You will know when you have traversed the star space and you've got past these low frequencies, because it won't just be you, it'll be many lights. It won't just be a single light. It'll be many of them. Because there are other consciousness that's out there that has not been a part of reality because they know it's corruption. You have a lot of other consciousness that's out there that don't want to come to this reality because they know it's low and it stinks and it hurts them. They'll tell you that even the angelic consciousness, they say we don't want to come there because it hurts us. So humanity think they're actually humanity. No, you're not. You're just stupid as hell. Because the real consciousness, the true light being, they know that this is no good. They know that already, just like I knew it. You will come to, you are supposed to go to the darkness, But you have to understand that black hole will only happen once the terror starts, once the chaos completely envelopes the whole reality. It hasn't happened yet, because you got to understand that this is an artificial black hole. If you was in a real one, there would be no reality. You wouldn't even be witnessing it. Right. You wouldn't even be aware of your own consciousness, because there would be nothing for you to be aware of. You'd be smashed into smaller particles. That is a true black hole. That's the real black hole. But this is an artificial one. That's why you can still have reality in it. Because once a real black hole intakes you, it stretches the light to its thinnest piece and breaks it into smaller particles and densifying, compacts it with other light that has been smashed and departicleized. You will not be existing and having no, because your body is nothing but molecules, subatomic particles, and atoms clustered together. But you won't be experiencing none of that in a real black hole. They would have been broke apart. They would have been ripped to shreds. You wouldn't even have nobody. But in an artificial one, because it hasn't activated fully yet, you'll know when it's activated fully. When all of the consciousness start to turn on each other and they all start to fucking kill each other, and you start seeing the reality start to collapse for real, and everybody is in terror and screaming and turmoil, that's when it's starting to happen. You don't want to be here when that happens. That's the thing. The ones that is going to escape this will already have left already. That's the real deal. Because you got to understand, you have to get past that. You have to get past that low density field. You have to get past that, because that is what creates the black hole. It's density. Light is light. It's exactly what it says. It's light. That means it's light and it's lightweight. It's not supposed to be dense. If it gets dense and heavy, it's gonna rip the astral plane. That's why there's no such thing as planets. You can't have a rock and light exist in the same space at one time. It's not possible. And Lance, you there?
Oh, I'm here. You just don't hear me because I'm muted, so none of the sound. There's no sound over here, but any echo or anything unexpected, like if a truck goes by.
Oh, because I was hearing a little bit of distortion in it, but that's why I asked.
Oh, no, everything's cool over here. So when you're asking me, it may take a second to hit the button, but I'm right here with you. I'm riding with you. I'm taking timestamp notes, little things on the edit. I'm not editing anything out. But what I want to do is take snippets and put it in the beginning, like I did before that time, and make it, keep it interesting. When they say, "Damn, this is what she said," I got to hear this whole thing. So I'm here. I'm intent right here. I'm your student sitting here, ain't missing a syllable.
So that's what the spirits have to traverse. They got to traverse the low frequency field of low vibration. All these consciousness that's thinking they're human and this is what they supposed to be doing. I got a life. I want to have my money. I want to have my businesses and all that. That's low frequencies. The Holy Ruach HaKodesh has no need for that. You can't be no doctor in the cosmos. You can't have no house in the cosmos. It doesn't exist there. Only thing you'll have is your mind and your consciousness and your soul. And you can create from that. And it don't even have to be dense. And you can have your own reality and your fantasy world within your own dimension of space. Because you already know if you create density and you start to colonize other spirits, you're going to create a black hole. It just goes with the territory because it's dense. It'll only last for a little while. After the energy has been zapped out of it and the frequencies get low, it's going to make a rip and tear in the cosmos. The cosmos is ordered. And a lot of these frequencies here that they want to go around and rape and kill and do all of this stuff for money, they're viruses. The cosmos is not going to let you go back to the astral plane, into the cosmic space, into the soft space, and you're a virus. It's not going, because you'll infect the other spirits in the cosmos. It can't let you do that. That's why when you create density, you automatically destroy yourself, because you're going to be put in the trash can, which is the black hole. So
Wow,
you kill the spirit. The spirit kills itself when it holds on to this low programming. You can see how dead it is. The air sinks. If you look at the ground, you can see how deteriorated it is. It's no color in it. The colors are dull. It's all negative entities all over the place. How can you not see it?
Or feel it. Because when I get around certain people, I don't even want to be around them. Most, I can feel them. It's the point where I know what they're thinking. I know how they feel. I don't want to be around these people.
Oh, let me say this, Lance. Let me say this, Lance, because I knew I put him in here. Alalu. He was the previous king before in Nibiru before Anu came. He was the previous king. His name was Alalu. So Alalu was pronounced the king first, and then Anu tried to succeed and usurp the throne of Nibiru from Alalu because his royal line was not diluted from mating with the concubine. From mating with a concubine. So, in other words, basically, Alalu only became royal because his so-called father mated with a concubine. So, to Anu, because he thinks that he was created by true celestials, that entitled him to the throne to be king. You see how all that manipulation and all that manipulation and ego shit play a part in them destroying each other? That's the same shit. That's the same shit that humanity does. It's the same timeline. Oh, I'm better than you because my father is this. I'm better than you because my mother is the queen. That's the same shit humanity does. So you're going to tell me the Anunnaki did not create humanity in their image? They did. They did. And they corrupted your ass too. And you a fool to believe it. Only a fool would believe what they're told. Only a fool. A true consciousness don't want to believe what they told. They want to know for themselves and not believe shit, because believe has lie in it. Anunnaki, if you trace back their story, their bloodline, ancestry, they always fought with each other over who would rule, and they never totally trust one another. Humanity follows the same timeline, including those corrupt rituals of fertility, drinking semen and blood, all leads back to them. They are destroyers and carry corruption wherever they go. They are cosmic colonizers of consciousness, literally. It seems unreal, but there is no other explanation. Just how Anu, who was the current king of the Nibiruans, and Alalu fought Anu. Alalu fought Anu and bit his phallus off so he could not create any more heirs. So that King Alalu that fought Anu, because Anu thought he had claim to the throne because he was so-called created by celestials, and Alalu came into being through a concubine. When they fought, Anu defeated Alalu, but Alalu bit off his phallus so he couldn't create any more heirs. This is the shit that they do. This is the corrupted shit that they do. The Elohim, the Anunnaki that you think is the creator, that you think is God, this is the corrupted bullshit they do. And you sit up here following them and worshiping them, and they do low shit like this, biting people's phalluses off and shit. Who does that? And this is the shit you following. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Your consciousness, you need to cut off your head and throw your shit in a meat grinder for following this nonsense. It is complete nonsense. Humanity follows the same ideals and timeline, and you can't deny it. Anu thought he was the rightful to the throne because he was spawned by the so-called pure seed, which is that he was light-born. But in truth, Anu, Enlil, Marduk, Ninshar, Anshar, Ninhursag, Nergal, all of them motherfuckers, they are not true light-born. They are parasites of the cosmos. Tiamat and Apsu were the actual true light-born because they were the Titan spirit. That's what a light-born means, to be a Titan spirit. Tahuti tells you that. He also tells you in the Emerald Green Tablets, he tells you that only the light-born will traverse the soft space. He tells you that. Because they'll be the only ones able to intake all of the knowledge. That's why when you tell a lot of this spiritual shit, they can't handle it. You tell them this shit, they get frustrated, they'll blow up that shit. I don't believe that shit. I don't want to hear that. I believe in God. They say that all the time because they can't handle the frequency of it. So that's already telling you that their frequency is rooted to those low frequencies. They're not escaping the black hole. They're done. That's what it's telling you. You looking at it as in a human and all that. No, you got to look at this shit in frequency. When you understand frequency, you will understand everything else. They're not going to escape. They won't even get past the low field of frequencies. They definitely ain't making it to the soft space. They're not. Because in truth, the soft space is truly for the light-born. They carry the data, they carry the light, and they carry the body of celestial beings. They have the holy Ruach HaKodesh coding. Because you have to understand, too, that the cosmos is based on numerology, too. The spirits come with a coding. They already come with a coding. That's why my coding cannot be the coding. I would never have believed in none of that shit. I know it's nonsense. So, I continue here, and I said, Nibiru, they targeted their own simulation volcano to provide energy flow and still no rain, no spring, no life, only the continuance of decay. They knew if they didn't do something about it, the production of energy flow, their empire, the Annunaki dynasty, would come to an end, which their consciousness would be no more because they were already corrupted. They are destroyers at their core because the Holy Ruach HaKodesh does not lead them anymore. The ego, the false sense of self, does. They call, what did I put here? They call themselves the superiors, but the ego must be conquered at all costs to save your soul, the spirit, the Holy Ruach HaKodesh, the great Holy Spirit, the omnipotent, the omnipresent. It is the fabric of the cosmos. Remember this, God resides within you, not externally of you. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. But that consciousness that once was can be destroyed by not becoming aware of itself, because you must know that you are truly God. God equals, for the G of God, the generator, the O of God, the operator, the D of God, the destroyer. That is the true you. That means, in other words, you control your own reality. And Queen tells me this shit all the time. Me and her ass go back and forth about this shit all the time. She tells me, she says, Lance, me and her be having a mental fucking war sometimes.
I'd love to be a fly on that wall.
Oh, honey,
I'd love to record
me and her
that.
be having a damn mental fucking war sometimes. But I'm gonna tell you, though, a lot of that shit that she says is the truth, though, because she knows I have tried and I've tested the shit that she has given me. I've tested it, and it does work. But see, the only thing that I argue with Queen about is this. I agree with her on a lot of the shit she be saying. She know her shit. That's why I call her Big Sis. But I only argue with her with one thing, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. And she know me and her go back and forth about this shit all the time. You see, I remember myself when I was in the darkness. Nobody can take that from me. I remember that shit. I remember it when I was in the darkness when I had nobody. I remember it. So what I argue with her about is I know that in order for me to be here, they got me here through my unawareness of myself, and they manipulated my consciousness to come here. Because I was at peace, I never had experienced none of these vibrations. And then when I got here, I experienced all of the terror. So I know the only way that because you have to think, Lance, if I had already become aware and I knew I was going to get beat up, I was going to get beat, I was going to be homeless and all this other crazy shit, do you really think if I had already previously known that, do you think I would have fucking willingly came here?
Right.
Because that wouldn't even make sense, because why would I be arguing about it now? I'm highly pissed off about it now because I never signed up to have any not this bad shit, not for it to be this bad. Because you got to think, if I come to the end of this experience and I still have to go back to the soft space and I have to cut all off of the programming, then what good was it? What did it do for me when I had already existed in the soft space when I didn't have no programming and I was already at peace? So why would I have willingly came here, knew that it was going to be bad, and then only to complain about this shit at the end? The only way that you could have got me here is to manipulate my spirit because it was pure. It had no experience with reality. That's the only way you could have done it. You would have manipulated me through my unawareness. There's no other way. Now, what I agree with Queen Rampier about is this. Once you become a part of the experience and you got that human avatar, you have asked for a lot of the shit that you experience because there's a lot of shit that you don't have to indulge in. You don't have to get married. You don't have to have no friends. And sometimes you know a motherfucker bad for you and you still deal with them anyway. So if you still choose to deal with them anyway and you already get the frequency from them and you know they ain't shit, then anything they do bad to you, you ask for that. I agree with her on that. You can't deny that shit. And another thing she said, you can't deny this either. It's all connected. It's all a program because I see the shit. I'm seeing it play out. Lance, I've been in this place. I have not even been in this place a fucking week. And I haven't even been here 2 weeks yet. And they already fucking with me. The dude told me the other day.
If they don't know, they feel it. They feel something, and it disrupts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to tell you, the other dude told me the other day, me and Queen was on the phone. I talk to her all the time. He told me, he said, oh, you can't walk in here without saying something to me. What the fuck do I got to say something to you just to eat a damn a 25-cent bag of chips? Get the fuck out of here. I don't have to say nothing to you. So he basically telling me I got to sit here and I got to address him. And you know what I told him when he said that? I looked at him. I ignored that big fat motherfucker. I looked at him and I said, well, I don't know what that means, but I came in here to eat a bag of chips. He told me, he said, well, you have to address me. You can't just walk in here and not say anything to me. You know what I told him, Lance? I said, I practice silence. That motherfucker got mad at me when I told him that. He told me, he said, oh, that's going to be a problem. So now I can't even be silent among my own stuff. That's a problem, too. So he wants me to act nasty and have bad frequency. I told you, Lance, this shit thrives off of low frequencies. It wants to aggravate you. It's a low vibration.
Right.
That's why he did it. That's why he did it. But you know what? I ain't going to let that bother me because I'm going to go to the director tomorrow and I already filled out a grievance on his ass. That's how I'm going to handle that. Because you not about to play with me. And I'm going to straight up tell him if I have a meeting with him, because Queen told me don't go in there with them nasty vibrations. Because I'm going to tell you one funny thing me and her talked about, Lance. You are going to laugh your ass off at this because I laughed at this shit for almost 10 minutes. This shit was too funny. So I was talking to Queen, right, and she was like, she told me, we was talking about something, and she was like, see, the thing about you is, she was like, you always sit up here and tell somebody, because she'll tell me, and she said, I look at what people do. She's saying, you will sit up here and deal with these people and have interactions with them when you know this shit is a game. You know it's a program. And then I told her, I said, well, Queen, I'm going to be honest. A lot of the times when I interact with them, I just don't be wanting to be rude. Lance, this shit is too fucking funny. She was like, what? Who in the hell did you think you talking to? And other words, she was like, bitch, you're one of the rudest bitches I know. I laughed at that shit for about 10 minutes. I was fucking sweating. That shit was too funny. Because she wasn't the only one that told me that. Because she's seen me. I'm very dismissive, and I can be nasty as hell, Lance. You already know that. And she was like, she said, see, your thing is she said you spoiled as hell, and that's your problem. And I was spoiled. That is true, because I do like to have my damn way. And they basically took every motherfucking thing from me, and they like, well, bitch, you know what? Since you are of a certain bloodline and you got a certain spirit, we're going to make your ass vibrate in terror by taking everything away from you. But see, what they don't realize is you only hurt yourself, because when you do that, you're going to collapse the reality, because the reality needs my energy and it needs my coding in order for it to function. So you ain't hurting me. You just setting me free. The only thing that I feel that I need to do is try to get out the emerald tablets as much as I can get out to let everybody know what to do to free themselves. That way, my spirit won't feel no type of way when it leaves, because I have already given of my knowledge. I have given of my light to allow the spirit to be free of bondage. So that way, I won't, by me knowing all of this and by me not telling it, my spirit won't be weighed down because I told it. Because if I hold this knowledge, that weighs me down, because it's like, well, you knew about it and you didn't say anything about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfectly.
So that's the only reason why I'm going hard with telling the truth on these punk motherfuckers. That's it. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even do it. But because I got a pure heart, and I feel horrible about what's going to happen to the spirits, because I know they're not going to be able to get out of it if they don't come to that awareness. Because I'm going to tell you, they're going to get most of the masses, but they're not getting all of them. They're not going to get all of them. So that's my job.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're doing a damn good job.
And that's what my mission was, because I wouldn't have came into the know of all of this knowledge, and I wouldn't have a critical understanding of it if I wasn't meant to teach, if I wasn't meant to give of my knowledge so that they can understand. Because you got to understand, when they wrote a lot of this knowledge, they spoke in their language, so most won't be able to understand that. So a new age and a new era of spirits will have to reinterpret their knowledge and come to an understanding of it, and then feed it back to the masses in a way that they can understand it and utilize it. That's my job, and that's my purpose, and that's why I'm doing it. But I'm telling y'all, they want me to die. They actually don't want me to die. They want me to stay a part of their reality and suffer so I can vibrate out a lot of energy to keep it going. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to vibrate as calm as I possibly can without raging and burning a motherfucker on fire. I'm going to try to do that as good as I possibly and as peacefully and eloquently as I possibly can. until it's my time to leave. But I want y'all to know, it's hard. I'm not eating that food. They feed us, Lance. They feed us motherfucking jail trays. That food come from the fucking jail. And if you know anything about frequency, you know a lot of them motherfuckers, those prisoners be fixing that. I'm not eating that. That's bad vibration. That's after I cut up glass and broken up glass, and I'm not eating that. I don't trust that. And that comes straight from the jailhouse. I'm not eating that.
Heck no.
Right. That's why I have to, and then I went to the food stamp place the other day, right? I had to stand in the line, Lance. I waited in the line there for over 4 hours. And I had to stand doing it. And do you know when I finally got seen, I waited all that time only for them to tell me, oh, well, you didn't cooperate with the work program, so you are sanctioned until you go back to the work program and give them a reason of why they need to lift up the sanction. She won't try to hear nothing I told her, I said that I was homeless and I was staying in the Lewis Annex Center for 3 days as a police drop-off, and they don't let you stay in there longer than 3 days as a police drop-off because you're not really a part of the program. You're just a police drop-off. It's just a temporary stay. So anything that they sent me, I wouldn't have got it because by the time you mailed it out, they already put me back out. They basically like they don't give a fuck. You didn't cooperate with the program when we sent the letter, and that's that. So I got so pissed off. I was like, this is bullshit. I walked out. I couldn't even deal with it no more because I would have gotten enraged, and I would have cussed her the fuck out, and I probably would have threw the booklet in her face, and that's why I just left. To keep from doing that, I just left. But I'm going to tell you something else I found out in there that was absolutely mind-blowing, and because I'm so aware of myself, I could uncode this, right? I was telling Queen about this shit. It was a girl in there. It was, she was a retard. Well, that's what people would think, that she was a retard, but I know what she really is. She's not a retard, actually. I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening. The girl came in there, right? It was a little girl. She wasn't little. She was grown, but, the mind wasn't of this realm, right? So her mother was with her, and the girl came in there, and her mother kept holding her arm, and I'm looking at her, I'm like, why does she keep holding her arm like that as big as she is? But she kept making these clicking noises, and when she kept she just kept making these clicking noises, and she kept moving her head side to side, right? And I'm going to tell you, instantly, I knew exactly what she was mimicking. She was mimicking a dolphin because dolphins make those clicking noises, and they got very good sonar. And when they usually be hunting for fish, they use sonar, and they make clicks and shit to try to basically corral the fish together so they can hunt them. And they usually move their head from side to side. The girl was doing the same shit. She fucking was clicking just like a dolphin. She clicked just like one. That shit sound. Even Queen got on the computer and she let me hear the clicking of and it sound. And that's all I said. Not that part. That's it. That's exactly how she sounded. And she kept moving her head from side to side. So I'm going to tell you what's happening metaphysically. She was reincarnated into a human body. This reincarnation cycle. But her last life, she was a dolphin. And that's what happens when they be like, oh, a person is retarded. No, they're not. They're existing in another realm. The residue of their previous lifetime is still very fresh to them. Like from her, that's why she kept going from side to side like that. And she was literally moving her head from left to right just like a dolphin, and she kept making them fucking clicking sounds. She didn't use no words. She just kept making clicking sounds, just like a dolphin. I said this reincarnation, she was incarnated into a human, but her previous life cycle was a dolphin, and the residue from that life cycle and programming is still very fresh to her.
Yeah, carried over.
Right. That goes to show you that programming is heavy. That's why you can't let that program the soul. Now, do you see how detrimental that shit is? Everything is all connected. Everything is all connected. I couldn't believe it. I said, this girl is just like a damn dolphin. She just kept clicking, Lance, and moving her head from I was in fucking disbelief. She sound better than the damn dolphin. I was like, shit, all you got to do is take her motherfucking ass in front of the sea and in front of an ocean, get her ass at the damn shoreline and do them goddamn clicks. You ain't even got to hunt for the fish. She'll bring her right to you with her sonar. So when I told her that and she pulled that up, I was like, I came to the understanding. I'm like, yeah, she basically, and that's even when you deal and they would appear to be retarded. No, they just existing in another dimension, and their previous life cycle, their previous incarnation, if the residue from it is still very fresh and it hasn't left them yet. That's how you can tell when somebody has been under MK Ultra like a motherfucker. They can't break that programming. That's why you're not supposed to let this programming be the default programming of the Holy Spirit, because it destroys the spirit. You see, she couldn't break that cycle of her programming. She still came in this incarnation doing the same thing. That's how deep the programming goes. In Japanese they call it the infinite tsukuyomi. When you are hypnotized by the dream and you can't break out of it, they call it the infinite tsukuyomi. And remember previously when I told you about the bus driver, how she kept looping over and over again, and I was noticing it. In Japanese they call that the izanami. When you keep looping over and over and over and over again doing the same thing, they call it the izanami. So I wanted to put that in because Queen was dying laughing when I kept telling her about the clicking note. She was dying laughing. I couldn't believe that I was seeing that in real time. So me and her, and I want her to know any disagreements that we had, she knows I love her dearly and I appreciate her. I call her big sis, Lance, because she is big sis because she has a lot of damn knowledge. She is dangerous as hell. She tell me shit, Lance, like I be looking at her and be like, her ass is crazy as shit, because she will really fuck you up. She will really fuck you up. Like, if you fuck with her, she is dangerous as hell. Now, see, me, I'll fuck you up too, but you have to push me in order to fuck you up. She'll actually kill your ass, and still not. She has that personality where she will kill your ass and have no thought of that shit.
Right. Go eat a nice dinner after.
Right. I'll only fuck you up. You have to push me in order to do that.
Right.
You have to give me no, but her, it don't take much for her. She has a killer ass personality. She will snap your shit and think nothing of it. And the thing is, she's so calm with it, but she's fucking with you the whole time. Yeah. So you are, and I'm telling you, every time when me and her talk, some weird shit happens. And I be telling her all the time, because both of our coding together is too much for the system.
Right, that's that power, that combined power.
Right. It's a mental energy.
Right. Wow.
So I want her to know that I love her.
Beautiful.
And she is
her
big
and I love
sis.
you too.
Thank you, Lance. And we love you too.
Well, you know I do. And you know what I mean. It's not some lower vibration thing. It's unconditional. I really do love you, Denina. I'm going to say that publicly.
It's a mental, spiritual love, Lance. Because, I wouldn't sit up here and fucking waste nobody's time. That shit bothers me that when every time,
Right.
'cause you got to understand, Lance, every time I go out here, I see they. Do you know I had a fucking lady as I was going to the damn food stamp line, because I have that energy on me, they can pick up my energy field. It was a white lady. She was sitting on the bench, and she told me, she said, you know, I can feel your energy field. She was like, it's good energy.
Wow.
I can feel it. Yeah, she told me that. She literally told me this.
Wow.
And I was talking to her, and she just came out and told me that she was a prostitute, and she basically told me that she basically slept with the whole damn Riviera Beach. I'm just telling you what she said. And I told Queen, I said, you know, I done came in contact with a damn demon today, a damn succubus. And she and Queen was like, how the fuck did you just be meeting all these motherfuckers? And I just be like, they just come to me like that. And, you know, she was telling me her whole field, but then, you know, I started to feel the little pool of energy and shit. So I had to smack her with the mental field. I was like, listen now, you want to free yourself out of all that. You keep talking about all this suffering, all that God shit that you believe in, that shit ain't real. That's how I snap their ass out of that shit and push them away with my mental field. So I'm going to smack their ass with the truth. If you can't deal with the truth, then you can't deal with me. After that, her ass went silent. Because you know what I told her? I said, fuck God. I am God. Generator, operator, and destroyer. If it ain't that, I ain't believing it. And she didn't talk to me anymore after that. And, you know, she bid me a farewell and told me, you know, it was nice talking to you. Yeah, but she would have continued talking if I hadn't smacked her ass with the generator, operator, and destroyer. She would have kept talking. I'm like, I don't want to hear that fucking programming shit. And I told her, I said, if you believe in God, then why God got you sleeping with every goddamn body? Why he ain't got you in a better position and you want to be detoxified from all of that negativity, but you still believing in something, but you got to keep looping, selling your body? You mean you have to think? You have to think about that shit. A lot of that shit is insanity. It really is. So I think I told y'all about the lineage of the Anunnaki. The salty bitter water is Tiamat. The fresh groundwater is Apsu. Anu is the great-grandson of Tiamat, but he's not really. It's an adopted grandson because they basically killed Tiamat and they basically destroyed her and Anu. They killed Anu and killed her too. And they split their consciousness, and because their consciousness was so heavy with energy, they was able to create a reality with it. Because you got to understand, the heavier the energy is, the more it can create reality because it's a big ball of energy. Does that make sense? Because all of the spirits are around that smaller forms of energy, but if you got a big-ass battery, you can use that to create off. I'm a Titan. Right, I'm a Titan spirit. That's why they got me here. Because Queen, she always called me Titan. She was like, oh, I can feel that damn energy. And she tells me all the time, she says, the thing with you is, she was like, you know that both of us is fire signs. She was like, your problem is, she was like, don't think I don't get tested. But she was like, your problem is you don't have full control of yours. And she right about that. I don't, because for real, to be honest, man, I'd be wanting to run your ass over and get it over with. Straight up. I'm just gonna be real with it. I'm straight to the point.
No, but see, that's like when I used to work. Sorry to cut you. I'll make it quick. When I used to work in prisons and jails, and you know, folks in there, you know, they aggravated. You know, a lot of them did things, a lot of them didn't do things, and so when they would encounter me at first, the ones who I had the most confrontation with, which I never started, but they try you. You got to understand that the other people there are watching you too and taking notes. So you're not going to let nobody run up on you like that. You know what I mean? So when I was straightening them out and we would really, you know, iron it out, we became the best of friends. You see what I'm saying? So we got along fine because we realized we had the same spirit, and they saw that in me, but they might have thought that I might have been a jerk and not known a little bit more than just being a bull. See, because most men go in there and they bulls, and so they get into a lot of fights. A lot of females go in there and bring the female energy, and it calms things down. So when I go in and I'm intense within myself, quietly, they sense that and they want to mess with you. And when they mess with me, it's not like I'm going to go fight you or something like that, but I'm not going to let you talk me down or intimidate me, and I'm going to call you to task. After that, we always end up being the best of friends. So I identify that inside of you, and I know. I'll call myself a modified Aries because, see, I know in my spiritual bloodline, I'm the last of the Mohegans. And so I got to preserve that and do what it is that I have to do on this level before I'm gone. So I can't let these little low vibrational beings who try me every single day, that's why I stay to myself most of the time, get up under my skin, because I'll end up somewhere where I can't complete my mission the way I need to do it. So I understand that. So these remaining years, I give it to you, I give it to whoever has that message to ascend higher. If they say it a little different, but it's the same thing. You know what I mean? I mean, ketchup is ketchup. If you spell it C-A-T or K-E-T-H, it's the same thing in the bottle. So I have to, differentiate that. And so that's why even this whole thing has got to be about truth. Some kind of truth. Sometimes I dress it up a different way to be entertaining, because you can't give a little baby a big chunk of fruit. You got to cut it down into bite-sized pieces. So you got to figure out who you're talking to and how to adjust it. So that's what I'm supposed to do in different ways, right? And see, when you come, I know, don't worry about cussing. Don't worry about people don't understand. It's hanging out there. One day, if they don't get to understand it now, they'll get to understand it eventually, but they don't have too much time, so they better get it now.
And I didn't cuss a lot in this show. I didn't cuss as I used to.
And if you did, it wouldn't bother me. If you did, so be it. We have to take it as it is. We can't sterilize everything. If it needs a little aggression, a little force behind it to reach people, then so be it. You see what I mean? Because it's how you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Lance, I want to say this too, because when I cuss like that, I don't want to be put. That politically correct stuff is a program. I can say it how the hell I want to say it, as long as you get the message. Because if you separate the cussing and you look, ooh, god damn.
Right.
Damn. Right. You know that was lightning, right? If you look at the cussing, I'm just telling you, Lance, if you look at the cussing and then you look at my information that I'm spitting, you can't mend both of them together. It's like, okay, well, they cussing, but look at all this. How you know all that? So you have to take the higher approach. You can't do both. You can't be low vibrational cussing, but you know all that. It can't be that. That's your delivery, and I'm doing it like that for a reason, because I am a literal celestial. So therefore, you can't control me. I'm going to spit it the way I want to spit it, and that's telling them, the audience, that I cannot be controlled. I am that I am.
Well, period.
Look
at nature. Look at nature. Look at nature. A bird will fly around and shit wherever it wants to shit. And shit might get on you. Or shit just drops to the ground. But see, if people have a low mind, they won't understand what that delivery means. We need that. Nope. Why do we need that? Because the bird will eat seeds and fly over on an island that doesn't have that tree and shit, and it becomes part of the ground, and the warm shit protects that seed and gives it nitrogen and helps it to grow. So why you think all of these different plants are all over the place in remote places? Like, how did they get here? Did they blow here? A lot of birds brought them. So if you curse a little bit, it's necessary to protect the message and deliver it. So when it finally breaks through, you understand what it is. You see what I mean? So they may say, she curses too much and it's shitty. It's disgusting. Well, you need shit in this life to deliver the message. Seriously. And people can't see that on a natural level.
You do.
And if
you do.
I see it. I see it. I never came to you and said, well, Denina, you need to slow down the curtain. No, I don't cut nothing out. It's needed.
And also too, I mean, I'm really the only person out there like that, so that's telling you how real it is.
But see, the power of the message you bring, it can't be politically correct. Depending on how you deliver it, if you want to deliver it a little less, a little more, that's not really what I'm focused on. You bring in the message. And see, we've been doing this so long and so intense. I mean, it hasn't been 10 years or anything, but it might as well have been 20 years because of the intensity. And you're relaxed around me. You know that I'm not some shyster. You see, even when I don't know you looking. You know what I mean? So, and I ain't got nothing to hide. I told you my reality and everything right now. So, it is what it is. So we work together once you have that understanding. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
A lot of folks that don't understand me. They don't understand that I'm not a chameleon, but I'm multifaceted. So if they see one branch of my tree talking to somebody else who they think I shouldn't be talking to, I'm only extracting and exposing things that you need to see how the enemy runs. And I'm going to be doing a whole lot more of that. It's not like I'm sitting down with the enemy, but people need to hear how other people talk and to see how satanic and how evil and divisive certain people are. Well, why would you promote that person? You don't need to, So yeah, go ahead.
And they don't realize this either. If I'm cursing like that and I'm completely against the programming, then that's telling you how passionate I am about the spirit being free and that all of this is wrong. That's basically what they're telling you, but they're so focused on the cussing because the program is telling them that that's bad. But you are not listening to the actual message. You're not listening to my passion that I have for all of this programming that is completely demonic to the spirit and the soul.
But see, they know they're scared, and they know they're like scared slaves on the plantation. You cussing the wicked system, and they're scared of what they think is the power of the wicked system, and they scared of you telling, oh, you can't scare master, please don't, whatever. So how are we ever going to get up off of this thing, especially when it doesn't last long? Look, I've been online like this for 22 years. If you add 22 years onto my earthly life and journey, I'll be 82. You see how fast that bad boy went? From 38 to 60, and from 60, take another 22 years. So that means it's almost over. And I'm not saying at that point, whether it is early or not, that's not my concern. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. What I'm saying is that, there's more behind me than what's ahead of me on this earthly chart. So this is why I'm pulling away in my desires and my really and truly I've grown so much. Yeah. I'm so detached from things emotionally, things lust-wise, things whatever. It's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. I'm glad that it's that way because it shows that this thing doesn't have that kind of power over me. It's like I'm watching a TV show. It's like I'm watching a detached TV show in a waiting room somewhere, knowing I'm going to leave in 5 minutes. It's like that's the way I see this life right now. And I know we have important missions, but I'm not attached to it so that when the point of transition comes, I'm screaming, oh, I don't want to live. Oh, God, no. No, I'm not. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared. I'm doing what I have to do when the time comes. Yeah.
And I want to give y'all this before we cut off too. I'm gonna tell you what Tiamat said, and even if you look in the Enuma Elite, she said this, and this goes for this era because they call our era, the millennials, the worst generation, and clearly you can see why. You see how I am. They said Tiamat said that she will raise 3 of them up. I'm the middle one that she raised up. I'm the Moni in the middle. Literally. There's no other personality that is like mine other than hers. She has the exact same personality that I got. You can spot my ass out in a Million-Man March. Them eyes tell everything. And I was out there, and I told them, I said, because I was out in the what do I call it, the concentration camp. I was over there and I was doing my serpent pose, and I I told you I do my meditation and I do my yoga, and I be balancing on one leg, and they were looking at me out as I was doing my serpent poses and stuff, and they was looking at me like, is this bitch crazy? And they just don't understand that is symbology of the serpent's wisdom and inner strength. For somebody that can balance their whole body on one leg and they don't eat like that, that's inner strength. You have to have inner strength to do that.
Yes.
And I do it all the time. And when they saw how fast I was moving and how I was able to balance my whole body on one leg on a curve, they were looking like, is this bitch crazy or what? But I'm nimble as hell. And the guy, he told me, he said, I see how you move. He said, I know if somebody pissed you off, oh, yeah, you going to I'm going to tear your ass to shreds. Absolutely. That, you can be sure of that. And that's why when she said that I'm going to raise 3 of them up, and the other 2, one of them is my cousin. She almost looks identical to me. Literally. She almost looks identical to me. And the other one, I'm going to reveal her at the end of my series. I ain't gonna reveal it yet.
Right.
But we all of us look basically alike, all 3 of us. And basically, I look just like my mother that I had in the reality. Just like we all got that bloodline that they have is very strong because the features come right out, and it's only us that have it, and you can't. And the thing about it is that the personality is so fiery. You cannot mimic that.
Right.
You can't mimic it. There's no other personality like mine, and I'm actually the middle one. Even if you do you know nature follows me a lot of the time everywhere? I could be in the damn room and birds will be sitting. Even at that place that I'm at now, that concentration camp, the birds will come at the ledge of my window and just sit there and be singing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
Oh, yeah, I told you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you, Mother Nature. I will raise up by Mother Nature herself. You can't make this shit up. Just like I said the last time. Why do I know all of this knowledge? Why do I know them in depth like I do? That ain't no damn coincidence. Because can't nobody else do it. Because it doesn't really apply to them. It actually applies to me because of the bloodline. Everything is about a bloodline in this shit. But see, me, I'm bucking the motherfucking program because I'm not going for none of that. Period. Did you hear the thunder, Lance? Did you hear the thunder when I said that?
Yeah, I heard it low because, the phone takes away from it. But
It rumble and the lightning still striking through the air. I'm not going, and they know I'm not going for that shit. No, you gonna have to. You want me to go for that? You gonna have to destroy my motherfucking spirit. And honey, I'm gonna tell you to do that, cause I'm gonna tell you, you can't fight me up close. I hit your ass too many times. You be stabbed about 20 times before you even swung on me. Wow. And I always carry weapons with me. I could take the littlest thing and poke your ass 1,000,000 times before you even knew that I hit you that many times.
That's right.
Your ass would be leaking.
That's right.
You'd be leaking. And it ain't that I want to be evil like that, but I have to be defensive because of what happened to me. Because one thing me and Queen talk about, and she says this, and I agree with it, pain. When you go through pain, that's when you get your awakening. Mm-hmm. If there's no pain, you're not going to awaken because you ain't going to become aware of yourself if everything is given to you. It's the pain that awakes you. And the thing about you, Lance, I realized that you were 5'5". I said, and you a damn Aries. I'm like, I know he can be mean as shit. Cause I know how Aries are. They don't play. You know, them fucking 5 signs, they don't fucking play. Right. They don't. All of the 5 signs are like that.
Yeah, see, with me, like I say, and I'm not even talking tough, and people don't understand it. I try to stay nice as much as I can. I try to keep busy as much as I can. I'll give you the shirt off my back, whatever. But if you cross me, like blatantly cross me, where you know you cross me, you crossing me. See, I can take a lot. I can take a lot. If I'm breaking up a fight and I get punched in the face and they don't mean it, I'm not going to get mad. If a person is legitimately angry and somebody told them something wrong about me and they have this preconceived notion, I understand. Let me talk to you and make you see different. But when you come at me to screw me over, to throw me under the bus when I've been good to you or whatever have you, and you know what you're doing, then I'm the most vicious person you ever want to see, because I'm very intense. I let off my intensity by keeping myself busy with this stuff here 24 hours, what I'm doing, everything. My mind is always going. I do have frustrations that I have mastered from this level, so I'm better now. But I got real killer instinct. If you hurt somebody that I love, if you something like that, but not running around picking fights and just being a hothead. But I'm real cool. But when I unleash this intensity on somebody, it's a wrap. So I try to stay away from that because I know what I can do. And I'm not even just saying physically. Like I can be beat down physically, but it's going to be hard to do that because my spirit is too strong. It just shows in a different way. And when people who think on an earthly level, they don't understand if you tap into my spirit, it's unlimited, and I am going to win. You understand? So, and winning doesn't necessarily mean something good for them. So I'm not competing. I like to just be happy, and I mean as happy as I could because I know how this world is. It's full of pain, and to get stuff done. You see me smiling on the videos and stuff, but don't think I'm not a killer, and I'm not looking to kill nobody. But if you come for me, you're getting it. If you come for me, you're getting it. And just like when we were speaking with Queen Red Pill, she'll do something to you and go home and have a nice dinner. I'll go home and have a nice dinner, have a good night's sleep, and think nothing of it and step over the person or people. And they see that on me. So when I used to walk the streets of New York City when I was younger, and I had the physical apparatus, obviously it wasn't that I had this muscle and it was in good shape. No, there's a lot of weak people with muscle. There's a lot of weak men who are physically strong, and there are a lot of women who are petite, like yourself, who they would look at you and say, that woman was a tiger. I ain't going to mess with her. You'll pick up an ink pen and stab their eyes out. You know what I mean? I know. And you'll be cussing them the same time, and you ain't going to think nothing of it. So that's why we get along.
But if you see me, I'm so little. You wouldn't even think I could do that shit because I'm so fucking little, and even now I'm even smaller now. That's why I wear my marine pants, to cover the mask, the decrepitness of my avatar because you know the situation. But don't get that shit twisted. I'm still a fucking ball of fire. Don't get it twisted. Cause you know those fucking fire signs.
I can spot
we
that
are
in
the
you.
only one, right? We the only fire signs. There's 3 fire signs in the whole damn zodiac: Sagittarius, Aries, and I'm a Leo. And you already know we will fuck you up. Because you know how Leos are. They speak their mind. They don't give a fuck what you think. and I know how Aries are. They will fuck you up. They will run your ass over. I done dealt with them numerous times. So I know how they are. That's why I said when I found out you was the Aries, I was like, he matches that shit and he has that shit in check. Cause honey, them Aries do not fucking play. Not a real one. They don't fucking play.
That's why I say I'm modified. I've learned to. I'm flaming just like any other fire sign, but I mask the smoke and the flames. They don't see it until now. I let it out. So and see me. Look, when I really get angry, Mr. Scurv could tell you when something gets up under my skin, and I wouldn't say as far as getting up under my skin, but when I have to get to that fiery part, it's a wrap that I cannot sleep for 3 days straight. And sometimes I don't even want to eat. I get so caught up in that damn thing, and it's like. I remember in 1997, and that's my last real fight, and it wasn't even a fight because I slapped this guy out of his consciousness twice. Slapped him twice, he was out. And I was mad at him when he was on the ground knocked out. I was cussing him out. I said, why you have to get me like this? Because, see, I knew I was messed up for the next 3 days. You see what I mean? So I guess that's why I never had any problem, because people can see. They just know. Like when you see animals walking in the street.
You can't play with them fucking fire signs.
Right. So that's why I know with you, no matter what the size or whatever, people ain't gonna mess with you. Because it's not, like they say, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. And I ain't calling you a dog.
You know what they say. Big things come in small packages. That means a big ass ball of fire.
Right. And
I explained this one thing with I told Queen this shit, because this shows you how fucking vicious I can be. When it was one time, me and my cousin, we got into it, and she's way bigger than me, and she kept letting her sister hit this boy, and because he liked me, and she was punching the shit out of his back, and I know why she was doing it, because she was jealous because he didn't talk to her. And I kept asking her, I said, Deidre, stop letting her hit him like that, because it was irritating me. She was punching the shit out of his back, and you could hear it. And I told her, I said, if you let her hit him one more time, and when she said that shit, and when I said it, she fucking punched me in my face, and she hit me so hard, Lance. After she done that, I looked at that bitch, and when I get angry, all you can see is fury in my eyes. I looked at that bitch. I had that psycho-ass look. I punched that bitch in her face so hard, she fucking slid on the concrete. And before she could even move off of the concrete, my foot was over her face. I was about to smash her fucking head into the concrete. If he didn't grab me, she would have been dead. I was about to stomp her fucking head in the fucking concrete. Literally. That's why I said you can't play with them fucking fire signs. They will fuck you up. Because you got to understand, with them, they are a heightened type of energy. They are a more powerful source of energy than a lot of the other zodiacs. You can't play with them. And that's
and you know, the one thing
trying to. Go ahead, man.
Oh, I was just saying, it's always been where I've always had the ability to tap in that, even without being angry. I don't have to be angry to get into that energy. Once a little anger, a little frustration, when I say, you know what, I'm going to do this. And sometimes when I may have to lift something that's real heavy, and if I say, listen, this is going to move. It moves. I lift it. No problem. You know, it's a mind thing also. And if you can direct those flames and that fire into your mind and focus on something, you can do anything you want. You see what I mean? And I know that. And so that's what kind of keeps me cool, because I can laser focus it in on anybody, and it's going to be taken care of. It's even me in this world coming out of certain situations that might have been disastrous, but I was protected. I'm not just going to say from the outside, but there's something on the inside too, because like you certain things don't touch you when you know you're going to burn through certain. It moves out the way. You know, when you see somebody angry about to kick somebody's ass and you're in the crowd, you see them coming, you move out the way. Well, that's how certain things move out of my way when it's time. When I'm not fiery like that, which I'm always dormantly fiery, you know, I'm normal and everything like that. Would I take a lot? But once it gets to that point, whatever it may be, it's moving. It's moving out of my way. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, who else, you know, will sit up here and do this shit here all these years like that? The time that we're talking, that's the playtime. There's hours of stuff to do behind the scenes and set things up while keeping other things going. So that's part of the fire that I utilize to let off. You see what I mean? So I can tap into that. So people say, man, how you do this thing day in and day out? I can do anything I want to do day in and day out. I remember the man across the street. We didn't have no driveways on our block. Man across the street pulled his car out of his driveway when I went to the store real quick. When I was coming back, he was parked in the spot in front of my house. We all did the courtesy for each other, but he's like, oh, I don't feel like getting up in the morning and moving my vehicle so my wife can go to work, because he was retired. And he's like, move your feet, lose your seat. So immediately, I didn't cuss him out or nothing. I said, okay, no problem. I got a wheelbarrow. I got some shovels. I put my radio outside. This is 9 o'clock at night. and I dug in the front of the house deeper in because there was space in front of it, but nothing between the houses. So I had to dig out a raised level where you had steps to go out, and all the dirt that was there took me a little while to do it. Couple days, it was a wrap, and I concreted the bad boy and made it a driveway. I did it illegally, but according to the man's law. But now ain't nobody parking there now. So what? I'll take 25 punches to land one. And I don't think I'm that bad where I have to take 25. But it's going to happen. Once I make up my mind, it's going to happen. I'm sorry. This is not going to work.
Lance,
just the way it is.
You are a damn Aries, honey. You ain't got to. I've dealt with too many. I know how they are. They can be nasty as shit. Trust me, I know how they are. You ain't got, honey, I have dealt with them. No, I'm dead ass serious when I say that. The Aries, they worse than the fucking Sagittarius. They are the fucking worst if you get them as an enemy. If they cool with you, they'll fucking defend you. But if you piss them off and you make them an enemy, that's a no-go. See, me, I just cut your ass off. Aries is not like that. They want to fucking destroy you. I know how they are. I've dealt with them too many times. I know how they are. That's all I gotta say on that. And I want to leave with these words. I got a couple of things I want y'all to know. Sure. I want y'all to know the definition of a demigod: a being with partial or lesser divine status, and that is key. Lesser divine status. That means they are not a celestial body of light. They are weaker energy. That's exactly what that means. Such as minor deity or offspring of a god and a mortal, or a mortally raised to a divine rank, meaning they climbed the rank. They didn't come into being as a celestial body. In other words, a non-celestial being, a lesser spark, not a celestial body of light. That's what a demigod is. It's not a real god. It's a lesser, weaker energy. And the true balls of fire is packed with energy. They are literally the size of a fucking planet, those stars, the real true celestials. That's a celestial. Earth is a celestial because it's a big body of light. That's a celestial being. I'm a celestial being. It's many of us, it's many of us in this star system. But there's certain ones that have true sparks and they big ass batteries. I'm one of them. Tiamat is another one. Atsu is another one. And a lot of the spirits here, like you, with all that damn energy, how you can do all they got, you a big ass battery. They target us. Remember, the demigods wanted to entrap the Titan spirits because they know they're the ones that power the reality. It's not really the lesser sparks. It's the big sparks. And I also want y'all to know this too. Queen said, and this is I'm giving this due to Queen. This is Queen drop. Me and her were talking one night, and you know, I told her about the whole chocolate thing. You know, everybody likes chocolate. Honey, the shit she put me onto and showed me, I couldn't believe my motherfucking eyes. I couldn't believe I was seeing that shit. All she kept saying was, you ain't got to believe nothing I fucking say. Look the shit up. That was her main words. Look the shit up. Look it up. Look it up. Don't believe me, just look it up. You got Google, look it up. I looked it up, Lance. That chocolate and shit that they be giving people and people be buying in the store and shit. Do you know that shit has rat feces? That shit is made with rat feces.
Oh, shoot.
Yes.
You know I hear like Ghana. Ghana is like
9 pellets. And 9 pellets is like 9 pellets of rat shit and a certain ounces of chocolate or kilograms of chocolate. It's like 9 rat pellets in it. depending on how many
Damn.
kilograms they have. Oh, yeah. So, and if you look at it, it looks like shit. Melted, it looks like melted shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they just put sugar in it. And they got this on Google. I'm using clean words. Look it up. Look this shit up. Don't take my words for or queen. Look the shit up. Then she showed me this. It ain't even just that, man. Do you know these motherfuckers are selling cricket powder online? They got cricket cakes, cricket cookies. Who in the hell want to eat some motherfucking bugs? Them damn crickets are uglier than
But you know, they've
roasted.
been had that. Up in New York City, in the Greenwich Village, they had a spot where they had locusts, what they call grubs, maggots, and my friend was going up in there and buying this chocolate covered stuff and sugar covered, looking at me like, "Oh, you never tried it before?" And he ate it, and he kept going back to eat it. They've been doing this stuff.
And they wonder why their frequency is so fucking low. When they eat them, they're negative forms of energy. That's why your frequency is so damn low. Eating that shit. You and I supposed to be eating no fucking bugs. When I see that shit, I get grossed out. So that's telling you they carry a negative frequency because it's repelling me. You got to look at things in terms of frequency. Stop looking at the physical of it.
Right. You're right.
And then
they trying to,
I got go ahead.
No, I'm saying they're trying to make us eat those things and get us ready, saying that, well, you know, the meat is not going to be there, so we're going to have to start eating bugs and stuff. So they're going to start making burgers that you can buy out the packages, like the burgers that'll be different types of bugs mixed in there, you know?
Yeah. Oh, man, let me tell you this. I got to say this shit. I was you know, me and Queen talk all the time. It was one day because it's a McDonald's near where the concentration camp that I'm at, because that's what it is. It's a concentration camp that I'm at, or the McDonald's is near the concentration camp that I'm at, and so that is pretty much the only place that I can eat that's cheap because you know I don't have no damn money. So you know what they done to me. It is what it is. So I was going there, you know, to get something to eat because I don't want to eat that shit. I can't eat that prison shit. That shit will make me sick. But this is the trip shit about it, though. This is shit you're going to trip off. Now, you remember I told you I cook my own food. I don't like eating nobody else's food. I'm very adamant about that. I cook my own shit. You done seen the pictures I done sent you, man. You know I get down in the kitchen. So I come from I come from eating that to eating this shit because I won't eat in fast food, you know, before this situation happened. So now I'm forced to eat the shit, right? So because I don't have no kitchen to cook my own shit. So I'm sitting there and I done ate McDonald's for a couple of days. Lance, I lie to you not, no bullshit. This is some real shit because I even told Queen about this shit. I woke up. I literally woke up in the middle of the night about 4 o'clock. My fucking stomach was on fire. That shit was twisting and Lance, it was paining. You could feel it was like my intestines was being pulled and ripped. That's how sharp it was. But then when I go to the bathroom and I use the toilet, nothing really came out. It was just the pain of it. And then I said, that's that fucking McDonald's shit. I said, that shit literally made me fucking sick. So that's not food. That's not food. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. It ain't fucking food. For that shit to make me sick like that, it's not food. I don't know what that is. But my system rejected that shit. And I said, I can't eat this shit no more. Oh, no. No. I can't eat that shit no more. No. I couldn't believe it did it 2 days in a row. So I couldn't believe that happened. And I'm like, so when they say that they could be chopping humans up in that McDonald's food, I do believe that because that's not food. Because my fucking system reacted to it. That shit is poison. It's poison for that to make my system react to it like that. It's poison.
Right.
And then also, too, just to give y'all one tidbit more, do you know that the water that they recycling, and this comes from Queen 2, work cited page Queen Red Pill. The water that they are recycling, do you know that they using decomposing human bodies to create water?
Oh no.
Yeah, look it up. I'm telling you what Queen said. Look it up. Look it up, because I did. They using fucking decomposing human bodies to create water. Yes.
Oh, so they just trying to mess us all up.
I gag. I couldn't believe it. I said, how the fuck do you create water out of a decomposing cadaver? How?
Well, they don't want you to catch water in places in America. You know? And that's what we're going to set up to do.
They're feeding you poison. They're giving you poison to poison your mental field and make your mental field vibrate low. They're doing it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling y'all don't have long with this shit. Do not think you got a long time. The reality is collapsing right in front of you. All these natural disasters is not for no reason. You got they be sitting up here thinking, I had somebody tell me, oh well, the reality, they say that the world gonna come to an end all the time, but it never comes to an end. Yeah, bitch, but I tell you what, it might not have come to a motherfucking end then. But then when they said that the world was happening, all this other natural disasters, feeding them humans, making water out of decomposing bodies, giving up, putting rat shit all in the damn chocolate. They won't doing all that. Volcanoes won't erupting all over the place. It won't water dams being broken and destroying cities. Bridges was not collapsing. Fucking forest fires won't fucking smog in New York completely out. All that was not happening then, but it's happening now. So that's telling you the reality is collapsing. Get your shit together. You do not have a long time. Time is very short. Remember, they said in the end of days, in the Revelation, that the end of days would be sped up for the elect's sake. So in other words, basically what they're saying, for the true bodies of light, everything is going to be sped up. The ruination and the collapse of this reality is approaching faster than you think.
Of course.
So you ain't got long.
And we're more distracted.
Thank you. But that's what they want. Because the more you distracted, the more you caught in your awareness, and you keep the reality going. But the whole time, see, the thing of it is that they can't stop this space-time collapse. They don't have that power. Because I keep saying that density goes against the space-time continuum. You're going against the force. You can't do that. The force is bigger than reality. It's bigger than a star system. It's bigger than a planet. It's bigger than the solar system. It's the whole force of the cosmos. You can't go against that. You have to flow with it. You can't go against it. That's what causes the black hole. The black hole is going to swallow your ass up. You cannot go against it. The true spirit, think about this, Lance. See, when they talk in these Bibles, they say things, they use mythos, mythology, metaphysics, allegories, metaphors. And I'm going to give you one. They say in the end of days that if you read the Revelation, they talk about how the elect will be taken up before the end of the world. Before the end of the world, that the elect will already be gone. Remember I know you came across that in the Revelation. So think about what I told you earlier. The true bodies of light will be gone when this shit collapses. It's the same thing. Same thing. That's why you can't make it up. The true bodies of light will have already been gone when this reality collapses. Because by the time they get those 15-minute cities up and be really torturing the spirits, when they scream and they're going to be screaming out in pain and torture, they're going to create the black hole. The true bodies of light will not be here because they're not going to cooperate with the system. So they're going to have to sacrifice their avatar and travel in light. They won't be here. Everybody else that's left behind is going in the black hole.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what that means. And they just told you in the Bible in a different form, but I actually gave you the metaphysical and the energized and the energy breakdown and the vibrational breakdown of what's really happening. It's the same story. It's telling the same thing. The true bodies of light will be gone by the time the black hole actually activates, because it's just doing it for now. But if you look at the reality, it's starting to activate. That's why the reality collapsing. So I just want to leave y'all with that tidbit. And if Sir Lance will have me back, there will be a part 2 to this Annunaki, because it's a lot of information, and you just can't unpack all of it on one show. It's too much information.
But you're saying you can come back every night. Trust me. You know that. All you gotta do is call me up like a fireman. Trust me.
So I want to do a part,
and I'm here.
I want to do a part 2 to this Anunnaki so I can finish uncovering these bastards. And then with the remaining of my time, I'm going to put together the new version of the Emerald Tablets, and I'll do it tablet by tablet, and I'll put it out as much as I possibly can. After that, my mission is done.
But you know what? Even if your mission is done, we're going to go as long as we can, because you're too precious.
Lance, I would not lie to y'all. So all I ask y'all is, even if you can donate $10, it'll help me to eat something so I don't have to eat, because I'm not eating that fucking food.
Right.
I'm not eating it. I'm not eating that shit. I'm not. Because you got to think, if the McDonald's shit done that shit to me, what the hell do you think the prison food will do? I'm not eating that shit. Fuck that. I told Queen, I went in 7-Eleven and I had took a candy bar, right? The dude was about to pull my motherfucking arm off of stealing a fucking candy bar.
Damn.
I'm telling you, about to pull my damn arm off and steal it. And I ain't hit him or nothing, but I did tell him, I said, now see, the way you grabbed me, I said, I understand I'm wrong, but if I hop out and punch you in your fucking face and knock your ass into that goddamn bookshelf, I'll be wrong, right? Now, I was dead ass serious because he was pulling too hard over a fucking candy bar. It's not that serious. But that's telling me that he's just a program. All he thinking is about the program, so that's all that's running on his mind. He's not even realizing that shit poison anyway, and you ain't even supposed to be eating this shit no way. And it ain't even real. Right. But the only reason why I was eating it to get the sugar out of it that has some type of energy, because I'm not eating.
Right.
I told you I can feel you. The Queen had to make, because I'm running off of limited funds. She had to make me go and get some of the damn food. Go and get something to eat with the money that she sent me, because I'm trying to stretch it out. And she like, no, go and get you something to eat. You can't think like that. But I'm just thinking of stretching it out for as long as I can to try to get this information out. That is my game plan.
Right.
I don't like this. If you're going to do this shit to the spirits like that, they need to know the truth. They need to know you're a fraud and you're a liar and you can't be trusted and you are their mortal enemy. And they need to know that. So that's my whole purpose. I would never, ever sit there. My spirit don't operate like that. Queen, I tell you, as mean as I am, she knows all of that is a defense. She knows my heart is putting, and she knows that.
That's right.
She know I tell her all the time, it bothers me, that they did this shit to the spirits, because I understand how the spirits really supposed to vibrate. They're not supposed to vibrate like this. It's all wrong. It's completely inverted and it's backwards. There's no love. There's no compassion. Without no love and compassion, there's no light. That means the soul is black.
Right.
That means you are already a part of the black hole.
That's right.
So if you are already a part of it, there's no escaping it for you. There's no light left. So, and I also want to give a thanks to all of the LANCESCURV subscribers and video watchers, his audience, thank y'all for reaching out to me. I appreciate y'all, and I thank y'all for that. And I want y'all to know that I am going to put out as much information as I possibly can. I want y'all to know that it takes a lot. I have to be in deep concentration to pull out all of this knowledge and to do all of this research to pinpoint everything. I got to go deep into study and deep into concentration with it. But I want y'all to know I'm doing it for y'all. That's my only purpose, because the reality don't really serve me no more purpose no more. I'm only staying in the density just so I can get this information out to y'all, so that all of y'all don't be caught up in this shit and y'all can escape the black hole and go back to the star space in peace where you came from.
It's the truth.
So that's why I'm doing it. If it wasn't for that, I don't care about, you know, trying to be a content provider, or I don't care about none of that. I care about the truth, and I care about what's right. And this, how we vibrating, is not right.
That's right. That's right.
So I love all of y'all. I thank Brother Lance for letting me use his platform to get this out. Because as I told Lance before, all that stuff he do, I listen. I can't. It's too much. I listen. I'm just the intellectual mind. You know, I can put it together. I can get it shows. I can put out the information. I can make you laugh a couple of times, but I can't do all that. That's too much. That's overload. I can't do that. I'm just being real.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
I don't have.
That's what I'm here for.
I don't have the patience to do it. I get aggravated.
It is.
You remember what I told you? You remember what I told you when I told you? I said I tried to do it one day. It was 2:00. It didn't even look the way I wanted it. I was mad as hell. I was like, I can't do this. I can't. So listen, you go to the quantum versus human perspective, ain't shit on it. I'm just telling you the truth. I can't.
Well,
so you already
that's why
know
we gotta
I'm
work
not
together.
I ain't in the YouTube thing, because I understand, you know, it's a lot of consciousness on the YouTube. They not real consciousness. They AI bots. They not real consciousness. They're not.
You're right. There's a lot of them that sound a certain way, but they don't vibrate. And the people listen to the words, but they don't feel the vibration.
Absolutely. And a real live consciousness knows if they're a real consciousness and a live consciousness or not. They know. Because a live consciousness is going to spit some real shit you can actually mentally feed off. If you can't mentally feed off it, you just getting dead energy. That's it.
Spiritual junk
and that
food.
can't feed. Basically, and that can't feed the light. You can only feed the consciousness through information, because information is light and light is information.
That's right.
So I want all of y'all to know I thank y'all for letting me get this information out. I definitely thank LANCESCURV. I thank Miss Scurv.
Thank you.
And Miss Scurv, you got a ram. You got a goddamn ram. So you know. At least one thing, she ain't got to worry about nobody fucking with her, because she got a ram. You know how they are. No, for real, them Aries, if they roll with you, they will fuck somebody up over you. I done dealt with them many times. I know. So I just want to thank all of y'all for vibing with me, giving me the opportunity to even tell y'all this, because ain't nobody gonna tell y'all the truth. All they doing is doing it for clicks and views and for money. That's it. If I'm asking y'all for, but if I ask y'all for money, you see my situation. I'm out back. I can't even fucking feed my damn stuff.
Right.
And the lady she called me the other day. The lady she called me the other day in the shop, and she was like, "I'm tired of seeing you with those marine pants." I'm looking at this bitch. I'm like, bitch, hold up. Because I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, this bitch don't realize she think I'm here for ego. Now, Lance, you didn't see the picture of some of my pictures. You know, at one point, I was in my fucking ego, too. I had to kill the ego because I look like shit now. So I don't give a damn about the ego. I'm just existing off of light and information and my mental. fuck the ego. The ego gonna die anyway.
Right.
I can't. That shit is dead. I can't do anything with the ego. Period. It's not gonna feed me. If you exist in the ego, how the hell you gonna free your spirit? Right. Your ego gonna keep your ass locked here. It's not gonna free you. It's not gonna spiritually liberate you. It's gonna keep you in spiritual ignorance. So when she said that to me, I was like, she's still thinking of this girl. I don't give a damn. As long as I got a couple of pants to wear, a couple of shirts, and a hoodie, because Lance, I'm all covered up. I'm talking about tube socks, Marine pants, a shirt, a hoodie. I'm covered up. I don't want none of that negative shit biting me. Period. So when she said that, I told her after I don't give a damn what you say, because she don't understand when she keep talking about the Marine pants. I wear them or actually she called them MC Hammer pants, but they're not MC Hammer pants. They're Marine pants, and they're specifically made for meditation and yoga, and they're made out of linen, so I can deal with this hot ass weather because they got air holes in them, so they keep me cool and not sweat as much as I could sweat if I was wearing all that heavy stuff.
Right.
So they talk about that in the Bible when the Bible tells you to wear linen and not jeans because it makes you sweat and it makes you stink. They know how nasty the body is. So when she said, I was like, this bitch is spiritually ignorant. She don't get it. So you just some of the vibrations, you have to tune them out because they just only looking at an image, and that's it. They're not looking at nothing else.
That's right.
So I will be back with another part 2 to the Annunaki. And I want to thank Brother Lance for having me. And I want to give a thank you, Brother Lance. I appreciate it. I thank you for letting me use your platform to put this message out. It needs to be heard. I thank Miss Queen Red Pill for looking out for me and keeping me in check a lot of the time. Because Lance, boy, she knows I'm a side sign because when the cops came over there, I was like, who the hell do you think you talk? And she was like, Titan, don't do it. I was about to cuss his ass out. I didn't give a damn if he was cops or not because now you picking with me. I don't like this shit. I don't give a fuck who you is. Stop the bullshit before I run your ass over because I will stab your ass. I don't care. I don't care if you're a cop or not. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I told him, I said, when he told me about that mental institution, my eyes stretched open wide, I told him, do you want to get fucked up?
Right.
Boy, I don't care about that shit right now. You're not about to put your I will kill your motherfucking ass, boy. Don't play with me. And that gun is not gonna stop me. You heard what I told you when I told my cousin said my eyes turned into fire. Do you think a motherfucking gun can kill fire? No. Don't be fucking stupid. So I wanted to let y'all know that I thank LANCESCURV once again, the SCURV family, Miss SCURV, Queen Red Pill, and I thank Mr. Sarantino and Miss Carol Lee. Thank you at CruiseCom, and thank all of the LANCESCURV supporters and viewers who have reached out to me, who have wanted to send me cash apps, I thank Olivia Davis. She sent me a cash app. I thank her, too. I will be in the chat when this show premieres. I will be in the chat. So
yes, beautiful.
I will see you guys then, and thank you again, Brother Lance. I really do appreciate it.
Denina.
Because Lance,
we love you. We appreciate you. And
thank you, and
don't
thank
say
you
my
for
platform.
hanging with me on this show.
Our platform. It's our platform because you know what? It wouldn't be nothing if you weren't here and the others who come in with the wonderful messages, but especially you, it wouldn't be what it is. So from way back, our lives were on a righteous collision course when I started doing this, and you went through different things, tried different things, and came to certain realizations. And so here we are now. But if you didn't come on, it wouldn't be as good. Watch. When your name goes out there that you're coming on, watch the amount of people who are listening in because they know what your name stands for. See? They know what it stands for. And like I said, I couldn't thank you enough, and to be in this position to, to record and to talk with you and learn from you, and you make my life better. And I truly, truly love you. On ways that people can't comprehend. They'll say, "Oh yeah, you're gonna try to get with her." No, it's like you said, it's a mental, it's a spiritual thing.
Spiritual love. It's because I'm feeding your soul on how to get the fuck. You can't not love it because I'm feeding your soul to get the hell up out of here. I'm awakening the soul. Get out of this shit. You're better than this. Because I'm not talking to LANCESCURV, the avatar. I'm talking to his soul. Fuck the avatar. It's going to die anyway.
That's right.
It's going to die. I'm talking to the soul. The avatar don't mean nothing. The body is nothing. The soul is all. So it's a spiritual love. So I will be back with y'all to commit the second part of the Annunaki, and I want to give y'all a breakdown of the emerald green tablet. And that after I do that, my mission is complete.
Beautiful.
So I will see y'all later. Thank you, Brother Lance.
Yes.
And I will see y'all later. I'm going to let you get some rest, and I will see y'all in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. And you have a good rest as much as you can. I'm going to do the same thing, and I can't wait to get in this chat room together with you when everything is done. I'm going to start working on it as soon as I wake up. Much love, my sister.
Thank you, Brother Lance. Absolutely. Same to you. Bye-bye.
Yes. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
You too.